And Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn Aherne, alongside the legendary Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Chelsea take on Burnley at Stamford Bridge. And Blues boss Liam Rosenior expects the race for Champions League qualification to go right down to the wire.
We need to win our game. It's as simple as that. We need to do our job. It's not going to be simple. Burnley went away to Crystal Palace and won, and we have to take care of our business regardless of what time we play.
So we'll have all the updates on that one on GameDay Live from 3 o'clock with Adrian Durham. West Ham host Bournemouth tonight, looking to close the gap on Forest in the relegation battle. Hammers boss Nuno Espirito Santo says his side are fully focused ahead of what he's calling a massive game for their season.
They are ready for the battle. They are ready for the battle. This is what we work on. Get them ready, try to get as much details for them to perform. They are ready.
Game day phone in from 5:30. All the updates coming there on talkSPORT. Manchester City host Newcastle at 8 o'clock, knowing a win would move them within 2 points of Arsenal. Lord have mercy, I'm loving this title race. City boss Pep Guardiola says his side must keep winning to put the pressure on the league leaders.
The rivalry is so strong. If you lose games, it will be so difficult. It's the same feeling I have with Arsenal. Arsenal dropped points in the last, but they can win in a row a lot of games.
And that one is live for you on talkSPORT. Kick-off at 8 o'clock tonight. We'll get stuck into the big football issues of the week. We'll preview, we'll review, we'll have some fun. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. Good morning, Cass.
You're okay, Shebahn?
Yeah, do I look well? Do I look a bit pale and a bit like, and I feel like I've been
Hey, you look fine.
hit by a freight train. So
Well,
thirsty.
Hey, you look fine.
I just remember, see, when I was pregnant, I couldn't stop drinking water, but I'm not pregnant. I just that feeling of thirst. I can't quench my thirst.
Could you have another one?
Another baby?
Yeah.
You offering, hey?
No,
Sorry, that'd get you
no,
fired.
as in, because you've got two now, yeah?
I'd love the idea of it.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I love nursing a baby. My sister-in-law just had a baby 3 weeks ago, and
Right.
I just want to hold the baby and nurse and, just
So it's
rock
made you
and-
broody then, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could go
Not
back.
moody.
Well, I'm always moody. That'll never change. But I don't know if I could go back into the woods.
Yeah,
and I don't know if
it's-
Jamie would be. I think he would have a meltdown.
Yeah.
Unless he's not the dad.
Even that. Look, as everybody listens and knows, having children, it's not like years gone by, because years gone by, families would be far larger, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be a lot more kids, and they'd look after the younger ones, and that. The modern world is, not only that, how expensive it is to have a child.
I know. I'm very much so of the belief, like, kids live on love, not money. But everything that comes into it, the money that you do spend, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
People have said that.
It's crazy.
How old were you when you had your first?
Michael, I think I was about 26, 27.
And did you feel
Michael.
different then physically as to what you do now from having Rocco, who's 10?
There's a big difference, yeah.
So it should be a younger thing.
Yeah, I found it more challenging being a dad. Obviously, I was playing football and I had Michael and Ted, my first two. So I was still playing, and there was a lot of movement, and their schools were changing. So there was a lot of that going on. But it was always way more challenging as you get older, because obviously you don't have the same amount of energy. Although I try and keep up and be as best I can, it's yeah. But I do love it.
Yeah.
I do love it.
Of course.
The kids are great fun. I've always said, look, I've got 7 of them. I hope one of them makes it so big that I can be looked after by one of the 7. I've got more chance. It's like the lottery. You roll the dice.
Retire.
I put it on them, basically.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. It's been midterm. You'll know if your kids have been off
Yeah.
school this week. And I look at my daughter. They're twins, but she is just such a little mummy already.
Yeah, that's good.
She's such a mummy. She's such a mummy to my boy and
Oh, right, okay.
to the dog. She's got him wrapped up in a swaddle and, put in a pram. She wants to be a mum so badly. When she's older, she says she's going to have 4. I have 4. I used to say I'd have 4.
But that seems unimaginable now. That family's going to have in the future 4 children. It feels like it's...
And it's normal now. Like, you had your first at 26.
Yeah.
So many people have babies in, like, at age 40, especially in
now,
London and stuff, It's like normal to have kids old.
Oh, dear.
I know. But,
What happened in the football world?
jeez. I don't know if we're allowed to.
Are you avoiding the Arsenal conversation?
Yeah, we could talk about that. Speaking of babies, Arsenal fans, hey! I'm only joking. We're only joking. It was a cracking week in the Premier League. Over the week, things took a turn in the title race ever so slightly. Or are we talking too soon? Here's what's coming up for you this weekend.
This is the Premier League. What happens next? Haaland edge in the area, shoots early! 3-0!
Twists and turns in the title race, that is for sure.
And he's on a hat-trick, Anthony Gork, and there it is. The relegation battle is going to be interesting. In towards Somerville with a header beyond the goalkeeper and in, and West Ham United lead. In the Gruev, who does curve one in, and Calvert-Lewin throws himself at it. Hit by Anderson, and it's in. What a start for Nottingham Forest. The race for European places is hotting up. Rodgers in the area, low shot into the net. 2-0 to Aston Villa. Fernandes, and now it's in Burma to finish it. He does. Now Pedro in the box. João Pedro equalises. You're back in, and it's in. Liverpool have the lead. Virgil van Dijk. Lewis Potter, he doesn't miss this header. Equaliser for Brentford.
These scripts that we've seen so many times in teams that are under pressure.
This North London derby always delivers. Solanke with a brilliant header. Saka got a touch and hits it beyond the goalkeeper. Are you ready for it?
I think so. I think I'm ready for it, Sam Matterface. 3 o'clock this afternoon, Aston Villa face Leeds. That one's got intrigue written all over it. Brentford Brighton also at 3, as is Chelsea Burnley. 5:30, West Ham face Bournemouth. That one should be action-packed. All the updates on those games on talkSPORT, and then live commentary tonight of Manchester City against Newcastle. What do you make of midweek? Arsenal dropping points to Wolves. Where we stand now in the table?
Well, pretty much the same as most weeks. That Arsenal get questioned, and they're sitting top of the table, and they've lost 1 in 20 games. They've lost 3 games all season, and apparently this club or this team is falling apart, and they're bottling it. I mean, I hate the word bottle, I just don't like it.
Oh, he was asked about it, wasn't he? He's not. You could see
well, it's not. I think it's a
derogatory.
Yeah, and it's also a lazy question. You know, if you'd have said Arsenal had lost 3 of their last 4 games. Now, let's remember the last time they lost was Manchester United. Can you remember, Shebahn, what the next away game was? Or next game was for Arsenal?
Yeah, they went away to Leeds, didn't they, and smashed them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, so they've lost 1 in 20. This isn't a team that I'd say, of course, they've not played to the standard quite as near, and they were very close to winning the game in midweek. Yes, they dropped 2 points because of the position they were in that game. Yeah, I get all of that. But to go down the road of this team's going to fall apart, I don't see it the same way. I still see they got their massive advantage. And I'd add one thing to it, that Arteta's in a really prime position, as in he knows Guardiola. He would have been in every team meeting when he was an assistant to Guardiola. He would have seen the training sessions. He would have seen how Pep would have mapped his way out through a season. That's an advantage for Mikel Arteta. Now, you could argue and go on the coin flip of that debate. You could say, well, Pep knows Arteta, but he doesn't know Arteta, the manager. He knows him of what he was as a coach for him. So, you know, I think Arteta's got a bit of an edge on the advantage. He knows what Guardiola would be saying to his team, the training methods and all the things that they're doing to try and get victories. And Man City have not been the City of they're going to go and do 10 wins on the spin. They've not shown that all season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I read your column actually in the Times about that yesterday, the advantage that you think that Arteta may have.
It's a small one, but it's an advantage in my opinion.
But you mentioned the Leeds game going to Ellen Road and bouncing back, and they were strong in attack that day, but they've been toothless over the last few games.
Yeah, I wouldn't say toothless, Shebahn. I'd say that they've got, because they were leading 2-0 and the way it panned out at the end. I mean, the 2 players involved, Gabriel has been pretty, you know, you could argue he's been one of the best centre-halves in the Premier League for quite a long time now. And then Raya has not made a mistake all season, and he's won them so many points as a goalkeeper, and he's made a big mistake. Now, the mistake comes because he comes for a ball that he can let the centre-half deal with. And it's right to go, yeah, they're not quite the same. But I think you need more evidence than what we've seen. Not you, I mean all of us, to say this team it's still 5 points clear, and yes, City have a game in hand.
Will there be enough evidence for you if Spurs do a job on them tomorrow?
Well, I think that will be the ultimate test for them, because not only has it been a North London derby, it's a Tottenham team that have been pretty awful now for 18 months, nearly 2 seasons. Under normal circumstances, Arsenal will go there and win comfortably. But football doesn't, if you look at the history of any sport, that's not always a given, that outcome. But I think if they're even at their game to sort of 80%, I think they're capable of going to Tottenham and winning.
Fascinating game. The fact
it is a fascinating, because of there's so many twists and turns in because Tottenham fans have probably 2 weeks ago have been so nervous about this game. But the fact of having a new manager come in, and then the manager has come in and made it quite a positive feel. We're not going down.
Yeah,
we're not afraid of relegation. We're not going down.
Based on what we've seen in the past, there's been so many nerves from Arsenal fans since Wednesday. This kind of twist and dropping points to bottom side Wales, you know, and then new manager Igor Tudor. It's at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs fans love it when Arsenal start to drop points. Yeah. How will this go? I won't be surprised if Arsenal batter them, but I will not be surprised if Spurs do a job. You know, it's
I'm
a bit of everything.
I'm anticipating a really hot, a game, that London derby that I really feel that Arsenal can go there and get a result. And there is a lot of buts in there, and I'm really looking forward to this one, because it's the perfect game in some ways. And a lot of people disagree with me on that. I get it. But I think for Arsenal they had to go to Leeds and get a big result, and they went there and won 4-0 after the Man United defeat. I would say that if they go to Spurs, and then they're going to have to back it up because they play Chelsea at home.
Well, just focusing on Spurs as well, the fact that they're 16th in the table, a couple of points ahead of Forest in 17th. Spurs have a lot of injuries, but have they got the minerals for a relegation battle?
Don't know. I've not seen it all season. I think they've been really poor, Tottenham. And look, we know they've had loads of injuries. That has played a big part as well. It hasn't helped. Didn't help Thomas Frank. Mm-hmm. But going into this game, of course, they need to show way more especially at the Tottenham Stadium. They've been awful. I've been there about 3 or 4 times this year, and I've come away and thinking, this unbelievable stadium. When it's full, it's a great atmosphere in there, and it's just been killed. After 60 minutes, you're looking around, you can see the disgruntled Tottenham fans, and you know they've had a dismal home record.
A win over Arsenal would make it kind of a little bit more worthwhile for Spurs, possibly. We're going to look ahead to the game later on today. We're also going to discuss all of today's game. Sorry, you're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Up next, let's discuss Oliver Glasner, the Palace manager. Does he have his jacket and scarf on waiting for the exit door following those comments yesterday? If you haven't heard them, we'll play them to you next.
Got to talk about Celtic. You know that the title. I don't. You've been away, right? The title's blown open now. Celtic favourites, Rangers second favourite, Hearts third.
Yeah.
And I've been whinging, right? And maybe I shouldn't because I don't go regular now. But I've been whinging about Celtic's lack of creation in midfield. It really annoyed me. I'm looking in the midfield saying, "Come on, we're better than that." Anyway, they got absolutely gubbed last night. But what I didn't know was, right from the first whistle, the old tennis balls came on.
Yeah. Martin O'Neill said something about it.
All I'm saying is this, right? I'm not trying to cover up a shocking result. Celtic got pumped, absolutely pumped, 4-1. But I'm not talking about that because Stuttgart are probably a decent side, better than Celtic.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the players any good when you start that carry on.
Well, it gives the away team a lift as well.
As Martin said, Stuttgart players would know about the atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, all these tennis balls come on, they're saying, "Oh, lovely."
We were talking about. I think Martin was talking about when Juventus, they were scared to go to Celtic Park. You know, the atmosphere, the hostility, all that sort of stuff. It's not an easy place to go and play, probably as a European side, but they make it probably easier.
I'm going to upset a few now. Celtic fans, did you throw a tennis ball after the first kick? Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you're very disappointed the way things are going now.
The bold and all that sort of
stuff. For God's sake, it doesn't do it before the game and after the game, not during the game, honestly.
Good morning, it's Saturday, it's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn, alongside former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Name the theme tune. You'll never know this.
No chance.
The Wheel with Michael McIntyre.
Cool, yeah.
Reason we're playing it, it's his birthday today.
Am I meant to guess this one?
You can guess his age, I'll let you guess his age.
I'd say 48.
Oh, that's nice. It's a big birthday today, he turns 50.
Oh, all right. I was going to go 50.
Massive Spurs fan as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, we'd be nervous tomorrow.
But that would be a great birthday present, wouldn't it? If you're at that game and they win on your 50th weekend and you beat Arsenal.
I think any fan, Tottenham fan, if they got a result tomorrow, would be like a birthday for them because they've had a tough season.
Yeah.
And it was a tough year. Look, they won a European trophy. We know that from last year. But Spurs fans in the league have had to suffer some really terrible performances.
They have indeed. If you were a game show contestant, which game show would you go on?
What's
right
the
in the
jugular.
jugular.
What's the biggest prize?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'll give you $1 million if you want.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll go on that one. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'd enjoy that. And because you involve other people as well.
Yeah. Who's phone a friend, would you?
Oh, depends. Did you get the choice? I can't remember. Do you get the choice of the subject? Because if you get the subject, and then if it was a sport question, obviously I use someone I know in sport.
Right. So so say it is a sports question.
I'll tell you
Sports history.
I think probably. I mean, Andy Townsend would definitely be on my thoughts. Jim Proudfoot would be as well. Sam, any commentator.
Okay.
And if it was sport and it involved football, commentators tend to know some really obscure stuff.
I'd go for Ali McCoist.
Yeah,
he'd be my phone a friend.
Yeah, he'd be good. But Stuart Pearce is really good as well. His knowledge on not only football,
even Brazil. He's got some random, maybe not football actually, but for politics.
Yes, yeah.
Brazil knows everything.
But yeah, I'd probably Who Wants to Be a Millionaire would be my one. You get the chance to bring in the audience as well, don't you? And yeah.
Oh wow, Sam's just given me some interesting information that overnight's Paul Ross.
Yeah.
He was Stephen Fry's phone a friend. Yeah, because Paul Ross has a photographic memory, right?
Yeah.
He's actually got one.
Yeah. Well, it's the type of question you get, you're going to have to think long and hard. I don't know how. We don't know this. Do you know how many people they have a choice of phoning? Is it like a list of 3?
It's got to be locked in, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be locked in advance.
Is it just one and you only get one? So you're going to have, if you're now going to have one, you've got to have someone who's across so many different things.
Therefore, a photographic memory. I'd go for Paul Ross.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually. Good. Yeah, make more sense. Very good. Oliver Glasner is running out of friends at Crystal Palace, making waves in his press conference yesterday ahead of this Wolves game, with the latest in a long line of explosive comments. Let's hear from him now.
Well, let's see. I always said, and this was, I think, the first press conference that why I can just repeat myself, and as I said, as a manager, you always depend on your players, and they will get all the support like always, and then we will see.
Do you still want to be here until the end of the season?
Oh, let's see what the future brings. We never know.
A little bit of a pity party there, Oliver. A little bit of a good victim syndrome.
Shouldn't it be just yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I've loved this football club. I've achieved a lot. It's been a disappointing time of late, but I've got some incredible memories. The problem is, Shebahn, once you say that you're not going to sign a new contract and you're basically going to be off, it's been that way. And they didn't lose a game until October the 5th. They lost against Everton. That was the first defeat they had. So it took them to October before they lost the game. And if you take the last, since the new year, they've only won one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's come at a price. His reflections and critical of, transfers or what's been happening behind the scenes, and he's been asked to perform miracles. I think it's just fallen badly for him with Palace fans. All the love, and they did have a lot, by the way, for him, sort of just gradually dwindled away.
I'd seen a suggestion, he almost kind of said that Palace fans need to remain humble and remember where they came from. And in a way, not that I agree with that statement, but they did win, and then you expect more and you want more. But the club haven't given him that. I mean, you've lost your best players. You've lost your players that did win the trophy.
He's been disloyal. That's how I see it, Shebahn. Glasner's been disloyal to the club.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because I just think the way he spoke, the way he's acted, he didn't make any comments when he was winning games. I didn't remember him ever talking about the transfer policies, and I think he's been disloyal to the fan base. You can leave a football club, of course you can. Anyone can go, and clubs can get rid of you. But he's made it quite clear he had no intentions. When he said, I told the club in November that I was going to be leaving or not signing a new contract, and people will say, well, there's been Klopp told Liverpool. But that was kept secret, okay, like it was for Glasner. But Klopp still, his love for Liverpool was obvious.
Do you think the ownership should have gotten rid of Oliver Glasner?
Well, I called it early doors. I called him out on it straight away. I said, this is going to end badly. And I still stay by that today. It's going to end badly for him because of the way he's acted. If he'd have said, OK, I'm not going to be signing a new deal, but I'm going to give this club absolutely everything between now and the end of the season, give them the best finish we can, I think the fan base would have stayed with him. But because he's been, making comments about, being humble and all this, fans are upset how their club has been turned around in a short space of time because of what they're seeing, what they're witnessing on the field.
Palace fans, 81089, let's be hearing from you. 03717223344. Do you agree with Tony Cascarino on that point? Palace Wolves, all part of our Game Day live coverage tomorrow from the Premier League updates from 1:30. Coming up next, we're getting out and about on the roads. Those of you getting on the cars or getting on the train or making your way to a game today, we want to hear from you. We're going to be speaking with Gateshead fans making an odyssey down to Cornwall this evening. Hoofed, that's long. It's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT.
Do you doubt that Jermaine can take Moses Itoje into the later rounds?
I think he's going to get knocked out. I do. I think I just know. And by the way, saying someone's going to get knocked out is not meant to be disrespectful. I'm not disrespecting Jermaine. I'm looking at the fight, looking at Moses Itoje, looking at what I've seen from Jermaine. And I think that ideally, I don't want to see an early fight. I want to see a good fight. I want to see Jermaine stick it on Moses Itoje. I want to see a good fight. And ultimately, we have an enjoyable evening watching two good fighters put something out. But I think Moses, I don't think he's been in with someone as quick and as fast and at this stage in his career. Going in with Anthony Joshua and Dillian White at their stages in their career is not the same going in with Moses. But on the other side of it, Moses isn't as experienced and as wise as those two fighters.
And that's
so there's a trade-off. But I think, personally, with due respect to the man sitting next to me, I think he's going to get knocked out by Moses.
But there's nothing to suggest that he will get knocked out because he's never been knocked down, never been knocked out.
And I'm happy to be wrong.
No, but what I'm saying
is
he's been, yeah, absolutely. But I say he had been in at the time with Anthony Joshua. Yeah, he was on a rebuild and a comeback, but that kid can whack, and he's still very, very dangerous. And Jermaine took some flush shots from him.
The big question about Anthony at that fight, and it's always been about Anthony, was he gun shy? And there was,
he was letting the shots go.
There was an allegation at that fight he was getting himself through that fight. Moses Itoje won't navigate this fight.
I made him
we'll see.
Shy. See, that's the difference between skills and just watching it. I made him fight that way. It wasn't that he had to fight that.
Fair enough.
I made it that way.
Fair enough.
It's different when you're in the ring.
Of course.
So like everybody expects Moses to come out and fight this way or do this and do that. I won't let him.
No.
He's going to have to try. He's going to have to try and try again.
would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? That seems to be the case with the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centrepiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first Super Bowl was held in 1967. Initially, the halftime show was a display purely for the fans in the stadium, with marching bands, dancers and American patriotism for all to see. And that's what it was for the first few years. Disney had a go with a few questionable displays in the 1980s, but it wasn't until '93 that we got the first glimpse into the future of halftime shows. Michael Jackson's stellar performance gave NFL execs something to think about. A raft of massive names followed, including Diana Ross, U2, Janet Jackson, who gave us the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction of all time. So how many people are involved? To give you an idea of the scale, Rihanna's 2023 performance included 800 people, and experts reckon it cost $13 million. What's even more impressive than some of the names on the bill every year is the fact they do it for free. The artists know the exposure they'll get from doing the show will rocket them up the charts across the world. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
How are you getting on this morning, bright and early on a Saturday morning? You're listening to talkSPORT. Shebahn and Tony Cascarino, the voice of reason is Tony Cascarino. That's Lee from Bromley. Morning, Shebahn and Tony. I'm a Palace fan. I'm well and truly fed up with Glasner now. All I really have to say is Tony Cascarino gets it. There you go. That's one person. Is that your mum? Your mum texting talkSPORT again.
Honestly, Shebahn, I do feel like he's created his own problem. I really do.
In fairness, in comes a counter text. Yeah. You can't compare Klopp, who was given millions to win and backed on every corner, to Glasner, who's been shafted by Palace, selling top players and not given the replacements or the funds. That won't cut it.
Well, there was a couple of big signings in the window, wasn't there? You know, look, they lost Mark Gay. I get it. You could say that Palace haven't been as aggressive, but they can't be, considering the stadium that they have and the revenue they generate. They can't go out and spend 50s and 60s and 70 millions on a regular basis. They just can't. They have a fantastic youth system at Crystal Palace as well, by the way. Players that have come through that system, really great ones.
Can't argue with that. Good morning to Frex Carlisle. He says, surely Adrian Durham for phone a friend when it comes to sports. Good point. Adrian will not be happy we've left him out of that conversation.
No, he's another one. Again, you could absolutely say Adrian, yeah. General knowledge, I'm sure. If it's because we work in the sports arena, we always think of the sport, but then you got music. I mean, Jim Bradford's brilliant, and Stuart Pearce on
music. Stuart's very good with music.
Jim, and Stuart would even tell you this. He'll say Jim's better than me.
Yeah, I suppose if it were politics, I'd probably go for Brazil. Alan knows everything. You actually should probably do a politics show instead of a sports show. Yeah, maybe Durham in there for sports. And Paul Ross just for everything else.
Yeah.
And music, Stuart Pearce. Some of your headlines you're waking up to this morning. All Sky Bet EFL fixtures between the 20th of February and the 1st of March are using the Puma Rainbow Ball. It's a celebration of the LGBTQ plus fans. And the league's commitment to ensuring football is a welcoming place for every supporter in their stadium. It's all part of the campaign. Puma, once again, make a donation to Football versus Homophobia for every goal scored with the Rainbow Ball across all Championship, League 1, League 2 fixtures. £10,000 was raised for this last season, so a very, very good move from them. And UK, Ohashi's stoppage time header earned Blackburn a crucial 1-0 win over Lancashire rivals Preston North End in Michael O'Neill's first home game as Rovers boss. Happy times. And Chelsea host Burnley in one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Prem today. We've got reports into GameDay Live from this man.
I'm Sam Ellard off to Chelsea Burnley at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea had won their first 4 league games under Liam Rossini before drawing with Leeds last time out in the league. They go 4th if they avoid defeat. Meanwhile, Burnley 9 points adrift to safety. Last time out in the Premier League did win away from home at Crystal Palace, their first victory in the league since late October. I'll be alongside the former Chelsea defender Scott Minto for Chelsea v Burnley.
Sam Ellard there with us on GameDay Live at Stamford Bridge today. There's been a lot of chatter around Liam Delap saying that he's not going to make it at Chelsea, that Chelsea's too big for him. Where do you stand on that as a striker yourself?
Well, it's a bit early days and he's still a very young man.
I agree.
So hang in there. Look, what we do know, there's a lot of change at football clubs, and Chelsea especially do change ahead of a lot of things very quickly. But it's early days for him. It's his first season. He was at Ipswich. He's, obviously made a move, and it's going to be a battle because Chelsea's expectations are to be in the Champions League. And if they don't make it and he's not in the first team, he's going to have to fight his way. I just keep saying, keep going. You're a very good, very, very good football club. And if you play your best football, you'll have a great opportunity of having a really good career.
How important is experience when you play at a big club?
I played for big clubs, and the experience thing, I mean, obviously, I think I matured a lot by the time I got the sort of 25, 26. Then I started getting moves. But sometimes the experience can backfire on you because you don't play. I had 3 knee operations in a space of 18 months at Chelsea, and it hindered me, and it didn't really matter me being experienced. I just tried to be the best pro I could be around the lads as well. Because, you found yourself out the team. You want to be playing first-team football. But experience counts a lot. I've played with some great experienced players that just lead by example. I wasn't a leader type. I just like to do my job as well as I could for the team. Mm-hmm. But I played with some great leaders and captains, and I really did. And they make you a better player.
Well, this is it. I mean, the amount of times we've had this conversation around Chelsea and the lack of experienced players there.
They need it.
But Liam's a very good player. He's got Premier League experience. You can only give him that. And maybe the injuries play a part as well.
Like Evan Ferguson, and when he was at Brighton and he got the opportunity and he was going to be £100 million player, and then he goes to West Ham on loan. Now he's at Roma, and all these dynamics happen around this very young man. He's still a young man, Evan Ferguson, like Delap. He's a young man. If you're in your mid-20s and you're battling for your place in your team, maybe you have to go and find a pastures new, okay? But not in the first season he's had at Chelsea. Yeah. It's early doors for him.
I agree. Do you expect Chelsea to beat Burnley today?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay, no hanging about there. That'll be Burnley fans. That they ruined. It's time now for this. Good morning. If you're out and about on the road today, you can let us know where you're headed, 81089, where your game is at today, or the place that you're taking in all of the sport in action. We can look ahead to this weekend's National League with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Home and away on talkSPORT with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Massive day in the National League. We're seeing a couple of absolutely epic journeys this weekend. Get yourself fueled up for this. Yeovil fans making the 654-mile trip to Carlisle at 3 p.m. round trip. Like this fan, Ollie. Good morning, Ollie.
Hi, I'm Ollie, a Yeovil fan. Really looking forward to the trip to Carlisle. I think my journey is actually going to be slightly kinder than some of the other Yeovil fans. I'm actually hoping to be out my front door and at the stadium in about 6-ish hours. Under 6 hours would be a bit of a touch. But however long it ends up taking, I'm really looking forward to it because Yeovil away ends are a very fun and very entertaining place to be, win, lose or draw. So bring it on and come on, you Glovers.
Oh, love that there from Ollie, all shirted up for the day ahead. And then we've got Gateshead fans who are going even further, embarking on the longest away journey in the country, 904-mile round trip down to Cornwall to face Truro City. We can speak to a Gateshead fan now this morning, David Steele, who's halfway there. Good morning, David. How are you doing?
Hi, David.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. I'm starting to sort of question my sanity. Why we want to do this epic journey, all the way to Cornwall. Geordies are going to be in Cornwall over the weekend, so be warned down there, I suppose.
Yeah.
what a trip.
I'd add to that, David. You are mad.
And you're bottom of the league as well, David. If you're going to sit one out for your penance, it should be this one.
To put it in a context, until Tuesday evening, we had not won a game of football since September.
Wow.
And, we're rock bottom of the league. And here we are travelling, it was about 50 or 60 people, which is extraordinary for a club of our size to be travelling the entire length of England. To go to Cornwall for a game of football, 90 minutes of football. It's passion. I mean, you've just seen Ollie there with Yeovil Town. Football fans are amazing, aren't they? They travel the breadth and length of this country, spending lots of money, lots of time, and sometimes it makes us miserable. But we still keep on doing it. So there's just hope, isn't there?
Can I ask you, David? You might say this is a stupid question, but why are you not a Sunderland or a Newcastle fan?
It's a very good question. In the region, I mean, you know the northeast of England, they love their football, and that's where the divide is. It's Sunderland and Newcastle up there, and there's a very, very small minority who support Gateshead. We find it frustrating because we lose a lot of support to either those two big clubs. But it's just, non-league football has its own passions. We can. Like today, I'll go in the clubhouse and meet Truro fans. We'll have a good chat. We'll chat about the journey. All very friendly. We're not trying to fight each other. We're just trying to enjoy the match. And I don't know. There's just something about non-league football. That level. It's a bit raw. It's a bit. The standard is. You're hoping to see some young lads coming through and trying to make it into the big leagues, into the football league itself.
You do tend to have a few ex-players come out of whether it's, I don't know, Sunderland or Newcastle. You've had that over the years, haven't you?
We have, yeah, indeed. We've sort of, over the last 5 or 10 years, we've started doing the opposite. We've started taking young lads, coming out of, have come out of their academy systems, have not quite made it, of course, have felt very down about that, of course, 17, 18 being released by these big clubs. But, a club like Gateshead, we like to think that we can, enhance their careers, give them a few years with us and then move them on, sell them on to football league clubs, which is what we've done. Good examples like Macaulay Langstaff, who's now at Millwall. We've just sold our goalkeeper to Charlton during the window. So, and it's great to see. It's great to see those lads moving up and getting what they wanted all those years ago.
And how do you see today going, David? Because this is a relegation battle. You're bottom, they're 22nd. What way is it going to go?
Our football fans are eternal optimists. We won on Tuesday night for the first time since September. So, we're sitting here thinking, if we win on Saturday and then we win next week against Morecambe, we could start coming. So, yeah, I fancy winning today. But, let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Well,
David, man, we're thinking of you. You're halfway there now. Whereabouts are you based at the moment? Because you look like...
I've made it to Bath or in Somerset. So I'm in Bath. So it's about 3 hours from here. But the return journey is long. And for my sins as well, I actually live and work on an island off the east coast of Scotland. So by Monday morning, I've got to be off the Fife coast. So I've got a bit of an epic journey the next 24 hours.
I hope you've got your Amex and start racking up those points and then treat yourself to a proper holiday, David. Listen, good luck to you. We appreciate you making such an effort. Well done.
Thanks very much indeed. Thanks, guys.
Do us a favour, David, when you're in the pubs today, ask them to stick on talkSPORT. That's your challenge from us, okay? When you're in one of the local pubs down there, get talkSPORT on the YouTube channel or on the smart TV. Will you do that for us?
We certainly will. Absolutely, guys. Keep up with the good work. And enjoy the football.
Lovely stuff. David Steele there, that's a Gateshead fan. That is a trek that he's on this morning. Hello to Adrian, long-time listener of talkSPORT, loves the show. He said, I'm up early getting ready for my first 92 km sportive bike race of the year.
Wow.
Well done to you, Adrian. That makes me feel a bit sick. Go strong. He says, good luck to the Cobblers hosting Leighton Orient later. Desperate for 3 points. Morning to Matthew, just leaving for Norwich versus Birmingham. A nice 10-hour round trip from South Wales. Come on, you blue boys. Good luck, Matthew. Go safely. Morning to all of you getting in touch this morning. We'll try and get through these for you. 81089 is the number. That was a look ahead to this weekend's National League. All thanks to Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Don't forget, talkSPORT has all the updates throughout the day, featuring Carlisle versus Yeovil and Truro versus Gateshead.
home and away on talkSPORT with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
And here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT today. A big old day after us, Marks and Charlie here at 10 o'clock through to 1, when Adrian Durham has got Game Day Live going all around the grounds from the Premier League, the EFL and beyond. We've got 2 matches over on talkSPORT 2 from the EFL. West Brom face league leaders Coventry City, that's 12:30. And then you've got Wrexham versus Ipswich at 3. 5:30, Game Day phone-in. Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara taking all of your calls on the weekend's games. And 7:30, live and exclusive Premier League commentary from the Etihad as Manchester City look to ramp up the pressure on Arsenal when they take on Newcastle. Here's your host on that one, Ian Danter.
Game Day exclusive Saturday night on talkSPORT is a belter. I'm Ian Danter. Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce will be alongside me at the Etihad Stadium, and I suspect we'll have a lot of Arsenal fans tuning in Saturday night to Game Day exclusive to see whether Manchester City can indeed get within 2 points of the Gunners at the top of the table ahead of the North London derby. But maybe Newcastle will be buoyed by those 6 goals they scored in Azerbaijan against Karabakh. City have a great record against the Toon Army at home. Maybe that's set to continue. Join us Saturday night from 7:30 to find out.
Looking forward to this one. Live on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock, Man City host Newcastle. It's the weekend breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning.
They've changed the manager, which is what the fans wanted. I was at their last home game against Newcastle United, and it just felt like the players were completely on the floor, just didn't have the answers, didn't look interested or committed to the manager's plan. How will it be different under Igor Tudor, and has he had enough time to work with his players, Crook?
I'm intrigued by this appointment because obviously one of the main factors is he's proven in the past that he can come into a team in a difficult situation, give them an uplift, put wins on the board, which obviously Spurs need to steer themselves away from relegation danger. But as Southampton found with Ivan Juric last season, who had a similar profile, there's a big difference between doing that in European leagues and coming into the Premier League and doing it. I do think you're right. I think the atmosphere around the stadium will be a lot more positive on Sunday than it has been previously. I think the change of manager, the fact it's not Thomas Frank anymore as much as anything, makes this a more difficult fixture for Arsenal. But what happens if they go behind early? What happens if they lose this game? That lightning rod effect that the Spurs hierarchy are obviously hoping for suddenly evaporates quite quickly.
Yeah, it's slightly different in terms of the profile of the manager. I mean, you keep comparing Juric to Tudor, but Juric basically only managed teams in Italy, Genoa, and Hellas Verona down the bottom of the table. Igor Tudor has managed Marseille, Lazio, and Juventus. So it is a slightly different.
How many of those were in relegation trouble when he took over? Because that's where Spurs are.
Good morning to you. It's the weekend breakfast. You're listening to talkSPORT. We're with you on GameDay Live today. If you're out and about, you're in a taxi, you're working, download the talkSPORT app. You can take us anywhere with you to stay across GameDay Live. I'm Shebahn Aherne alongside former Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. Brazil striker Neymar has suggested he might retire at the end of the year. Cass, 34 years old, £200 million move from Barca to PSG in 2017 remains the highest fee paid for any player, but blighted by injuries. Is it time?
Yeah, and he's playing a lot of poker at the Hustler Casino in America. And seeing him playing too much poker at the moment. Not enough football.
Focus on
yeah.
By the way, tomorrow and today, of course, in the Scottish Premiership, looks certain to have only one Champions League place. After next season, the league has dropped from 14th to 18th in the UEFA coefficient rankings, so only the top 15 nations get 2 Champions League spots and later qualifying round access. Oh, Scottish Premiership. Celtic have Hibs tomorrow. Touch wood. It made it feel great. Okay, Sam Stevens is here for a look at today's back pages. Good morning, Sam. No.
This is the best ever. I love this bit.
You're a fan of this theme, aren't you?
Not the you really do.
Just the theme.
It's just the music.
And good night.
I love it.
It's a cracker, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's Olivia Newton-John as well.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
From New Zealand, I'm joking.
What a talent. What a talent.
Yeah.
You're a fan of Olivia Newton-John?
Oh,
Great roles in Greece, among others.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legend. Greece was excellent. When was the last time you watched that?
Well, you normally see it certain times of the year.
Yeah.
I must have seen it at least 3 or 4 times.
On for the kids.
Yeah, you should actually. Yeah.
Sandy, do you remember that?
Sandy.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandy.
I was in Greece a few years ago playing a T-bird. Yeah.
Oh, you were a T-bird? Did you have a quiff?
I did have to sort of quiff the hair a bit. Yeah. Yeah, it was good fun. That.
You don't have to now, though, Sam, do you?
That's very harsh. I'm a little too old now to be in Greece, really, aren't I? But, John Travolta was pretty old, wasn't he, when he was in it? So it's all right for him.
And he was meant to be like 17.
Yeah, right.
Looked about 45.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Now, Cass, you've been causing a stir this week, have you not, on talkSPORT with your comments on Dominic Szoboszlai? You've been comparing him to Steven Gerrard, and of course, that was the source of much debate on talkSPORT at the start of the week.
Yeah, I know. I got a bit of stick, but, it's only my opinion.
It's an interesting opinion. And Paul Joyce in this morning's Times, as if listening to you and your opinion, with a very strong article on the rise of Szoboszlai. Why the rise of Szoboszlai to main man was inevitable, he says. Started to nod as the question was being asked, and a hint of a smile broke across his face. June 2025, he was being quizzed on whether, with Florian Wirtz about to sign for Liverpool, he was fearful of finding himself out of Arne Slot's team. He responded by saying all the right things, recognised that Wirtz had not been purchased for up to £116 million from Bayer Leverkusen to sit on the bench, vowed to work hard in pre-season, and insisted he would not be squeezed out of the lineup easily, yet the semblance of a grin betrayed that deep down, the 25-year-old viewed the inquiry to a newly crowned Premier League champion as a misjudgment of a player who would not countenance his career being thrown off course. It's a really nice piece talking about the development of Szoboszlai as such an important player. So are you sticking with your comments from last weekend then?
Well, I didn't say he was better. I just said, I just think he's very close, and I just wanted to see the reaction of Liverpool fans of how I saw Szoboszlai, because he's really... He done what Gerrard... And Gerrard did it under a number of seasons, I get all that. But Stephen didn't win the Premier League. Szoboszlai has, but Szoboszlai hasn't won the Champions League. Could win it this year. But he's had a massive impact to Liverpool this year in a very difficult season for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Tony Rory Jennings Cascarino over there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, or clickbait Cascarino.
I wanted to go viral, so I decided that's...
A new regular feature for us, that, I tell you.
I get what you mean.
Another interesting piece in the Times this morning from Ian Whittle. Pep Guardiola has admitted for the first time that Manchester City rushed Rodri back too quickly from his knee ligament injury 18 months ago, delaying his return to peak form. I think many would have said about Rodri when he first came back to the City team on a semi-regular to regular basis that he didn't quite look himself. Is that fair to say? Yeah. Whereas we're now seeing, aren't we, the player that, signs of the player that won the Ballon d'Or a couple of years back.
I wouldn't go that far, Sam.
Okay.
Look, he's had setbacks, and you have to defend the medical team and everybody around Man City because, look, a serious injury, you never quite know how a player comes back, and it took way longer, and he hasn't got back to his very best. I hope he does, because he's a terrific player, but he suffered an injury that not so long ago it finished people. It finished players. So it's a bad one. It was a really bad injury.
Bearing in mind that players are often playing with knocks and, you know, they might have a few niggles here and there and that sort of thing. How difficult is it to know as a player and as a coaching staff, medical staff, just when the right time is for a player to return? Particularly if they've got a long-term injury like that, and you don't know if you're just returning on the grounds that you're fully fit for your injury, or whether you're still got you're carrying a bit of an injury or two.
Well, you don't know until obviously you play football matches, as in competitive matches. You know, you can train really well, you can keep up with everybody, everything feels as normal, but until you cross that line in a competitive match, whether it's a Premier League, Champions League game, you just don't know. And also people are expecting you to improve over, you know, a period of 6 games, 8 games, 10 games.
Yeah.
That you'll suddenly get back to your best form. So they're wanting you to play games or get minutes under your belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not a given that you can go just right. He's ready.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Yeah. It's a tricky one in terms of knowing exactly when players are in a position where they're actually match fit and ready to play.
But you would imagine Rodri himself would know if his body wasn't ready. He'd be the first one to say, "It's just you're just rusty, aren't you?" You're
a bit of that. Yeah, of course, Shebahn. But you know, if you take Andy Murray in tennis, he was battling injuries and still winning
all the time.
But he had so many different injuries, and a really bad one can change you completely as a player.
Yeah, completely.
And then that's the thing, you go back to when Rodri got that injury, that's when City really started to wobble. You know, they did. He's such a massive player. You want to see him be the player he was. Sam, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sam Stevens there. We'll look at today's back pages. Coming up next, we'll discuss Brighton. The Seagulls are flapping. And we'll ask why next with a Brighton podcast. And it's the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning.
But when you hear these comments that he's come out with now, to say he cannot get the best out of the players that have come in, if that those words just come out of his mouth, then as an owner, you've got no choice now. You have to say, like, okay, he's coming out now publicly and saying he can't get the best out of top players as well, by the way. Brendan Johnson is a very good player. Okay, you can't get the best out
of him. Is he daring the board to sack him?
It sounds
100%.
It sounds like it. And by the way, I know that they missed out on Dwight McDeal. That deal didn't quite get over the line on deadline day. But there was a lot of optimism in the Palace hierarchy because of the addition of Brendan Johnson, because Jurgen Strand-Larsen has come in and obviously scored a couple of excellent goals. Guessond as well. And they kept Mateta. He's not fit at the moment, but should be back sometime soon. They feel there are more than enough weapons in that Palace team to be winning games of football, and one winning 15 is not good enough.
It feels like he's playing chicken a little bit with the hierarchy, isn't he? Because he's saying, you know, I'm not good enough at the moment. I can't do this job. It's very hard for me, blah, blah, blah. And Palace are in a situation where they're obviously like, well, you've already said you're going to leave at the end of the season. You've got a contract to fulfill. You need to fulfill that. Yeah. We're not just going to pay you up for the sake of paying you up so you can have a 3-month holiday and prepare yourself for a new job. Quite rightly so, by the way. But at the same time, Palace are in a predicament where they've won 1 game in 15. They might go out of Europe if they don't buck their ideas up next Thursday. And they don't want to lose to Wolves on Sunday either, because if that happens, they could find themselves in a relegation battle. So they're in a sort of catch-22 situation. He knows that, and he's daring them, Gabby.
Yeah, but in that press conference, he's gonna lose the fans, those that were still standing by him. He's going to lose the ownership, and he's probably going to lose the players as well if he's turning around saying, "Look, I'm not good enough for you guys."
As Lewis Hamilton, now at Ferrari, dares to dream of a record 8th F1 world title, the Tifosi will be hoping the Brits can bring glory back to Italy. To many, Ferrari and Formula One are inseparable. They're the only team in the sport today to have competed in the first World Championship in 1950, are the most successful team in history, and have built some absolutely gorgeous cars. Their first driver's title was won in 1952 by Alberto Ascari. Considered one of F1's most dominant and best-loved champions, he drove the iconic Ferrari 500 and defended his title the year after. It was Juan Manuel Fangio in his Ferrari 250 who secured the team's next driver's title in 1956. Remember, he was world champion 5 times with 4 different teams. Mike Hawthorne, Phil Hill and John Surtees also won titles for Ferrari in the 50s and 60s, and the cars back then were beautiful, and they even sounded great, didn't they? Anyway, Ferrari went 11 years without winning a title until Niki Lauda won in 1975 in the iconic 312T. Throughout much of the 80s and 90s, though, Ferrari looked like they'd never go all the way again. Le Professeur Alain Prost came pretty close in 1990, but lost out to his bitter rival and former teammate at McLaren, Ayrton Senna. It was only when John Todt recruited a swathe of staff from outside of Italy, including Michael Schumacher, that the glory days returned 21 years after their last driver's title. The turn of the century saw the prancing horse sprint to an unprecedented 5 consecutive championship doubles. And after Schumacher left, Kimi Raikkonen reclaimed the driver's title immediately. But despite employing 1,500 people, the Iceman remains the last Ferrari world champion. So, 16 constructors' titles, 7 more than McLaren, and 15 drivers' titles, 4 more than, again, McLaren. Ferrari are truly Formula One's top team. Forza Ferrari.
Good morning. Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Thank you for listening. My name's Shebahn Aherne alongside Millwall Hall of Famer Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Coming up for you today, Brighton travelled to Brentford without a win in their last 6, and despite the tough run of form, Brighton boss Fabian Hürzeler says he feels the support from the club to turn it around.
The results aren't great, but we keep focusing on the process. Then we all have to believe that we can get out of the situation even stronger, and therefore we try to go for it.
All of the updates on GameDay Live from that one at 3 o'clock with our Adrian Durham. In other news, Bournemouth travel to West Ham in their bid to push for European football, but Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola will watch his side stripped from the stands, a situation he's described as strange.
It's strange because the official that suspended me is going to be the ref of the game, because he was the fourth official. He showed me yellow card, and now they put him to ref our game. So I think it's a little bit strange.
Because he's in the stands, you wonder if he'll start to turn himself into a bit of a fan.
Yeah.
Swearing and all that.
By the way, how good a job has he done?
Lying. Absolutely.
Done brilliant at Bournemouth.
Yeah, fair play. All the updates on that one on the game day phone in from 5:30. Man City host Newcastle United, known a win would move them within 2 points of league leaders Arsenal. City boss Pep Guardiola said the side must keep on winning to keep piling on the pressure.
The rival is so strong. If we lose games, it will be so difficult. It's the same feeling I have with Arsenal. Arsenal drop points in the last, but they can win in a row a lot of games.
City versus Newcastle is live for you here on talkSPORT tonight. Kick-off is at 8. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Okay, so Palace fans not too pleased with Oliver Glasner's press conference yesterday. Neither is Tony Cascarino. 03717 223344 is the number. Good morning to Gary. Gary, you want to have your say on Ollie Glasner? Good morning.
Hi, Gary.
Good morning. All right, Tony. Yeah, I was on a few weeks ago, and Tony said about Glasner. I wanted him gone then, and I want him even gone now. I don't care when he goes, even if he left before the match today. Since he announced that he wanted to go, we haven't done anything. Up until October, we've won the FA Cup. Yeah, we've lost players, but we won it, the FA Cup. At least had gone. We still have good teams. We replace them. Just go. There's no passion there. There's nothing. We're going to. If he stays, we will get relegated. We will get relegated. We can't win a thing.
No, it's been a difficult time, Gary. Gary, I watched the Macclesfield game when you lost in the cup.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that he was turning to the bench and waving out his arms. And I'm thinking, your Crystal Palace team have been fantastic for you all season. The attitude of the players, the performances. Yeah. And I couldn't believe he was literally arms out waving. It's like, this is not on me. This is on them. And
yeah, he's just blaming. He's blaming everyone. That interview. That just tells you. Ask a straight question. Are you going to stay to the end of the season? Yes, no.
Yeah.
He didn't even answer that.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
The club is in disarray at the moment. It's nothing to do with the chairman. It's nothing to... Palace don't... We can't spend thousands. Our pitch, the supporters are great. They deserve more. There's Sean Dyche out there. Go and get him. At least he shows passion. He ain't showing nothing. And that must... Just if he ain't showing no passion, what do the players think?
Gary, well said. Thank you so much for your call this morning. Let's hope it turns around for you. 03717 223344 is the number. Let's focus on Brighton Cast. 2 wins in the last 15 for Fabian Hürzeler's floundering side. They sit now 14th in the Prem, just 7 clear of the relegation zone, and questions are starting to be asked. This caller, Aaron, thinks the Germans' time is up.
For me, it's now got to a point where, I don't think it's just me, I think it's a lot of us, that he kind of has to go now. Hürzeler has to go. I don't see a way back from him.
Before the end of the season?
Yeah, before. I think if realistically the next couple of days would be, because our season's now done really, because today was our only real opportunity of getting something from this season.
Yeah.
We're looking over our shoulder a lot more than realistically we should.
Yeah.
But that's due to probably poor recruitment and having no real starter play.
So that's the thoughts of Aaron, the Brighton fan. We can hear now from Brighton fan and Albion Obsessed podcast host Joe Sayers is with us this morning. Good morning, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Good morning. How are we?
Yeah, we're good. Tell us how you see your football club at the moment, because obviously we know about the run, and the defeats. Hürzeler, what he's been doing as a coach and manager for the football club. So tell us how you see it.
Yeah, there's no getting away from the fact that it's not good enough from what we've grown to expect over the last couple of seasons. I was lucky enough to speak to Paul Barber a couple of days ago, and he was talking about the expectations rising after obviously our European season and our second best finish last year. But I think the Premier League is just so harsh at the moment, and I think it's a league-wide trend that not many people are finding it easy to get wins, and I think we have to look at the bigger picture. I've been sort of like on the edge of Fabian out, Fabian in. I don't know how to feel. How I've landed on it is, if the board are trusting that he's the right man, I'm going to back him, because I don't think there is any reason to inject that negativity whilst you're in a bad run. I think the players know, the manager knows, the club knows where we're at the moment. But us as supporters, I think we have to just get behind the team and hope that it comes good again. And I'm sure it will come good again. The football club. Sorry, go on.
So I was going to say to you, because your wide players who have been, look at Matoma, who's been exceptional for you. He hasn't been as consistent this year. I think Minter, I watched him last year. I thought he's a really powerful, direct winger, come wing back. Again, not delivered the numbers what we know he's capable of. And obviously the injury to Solly Marsh has been really, really tough on you. So you've lost in your wide areas. You've lost quite a lot.
Yeah, we have. And I think we've been unlucky with Minte and Matoma missing each other a little bit with, they've been injured at different times. I don't think there's, if you watch Brighton and you watch us with Minte and Matoma, it allows us to stretch the defence, and they give each other different chances because they both drag a couple of defenders to each other. So that is a huge part of what makes Brighton good. And you're so right. We are missing that. Obviously, Brian Gruder going out on loan was hard to take, but he wants to go and get game time in a World Cup here. So, there's been lots of different factors that we can blame, I guess.
Joe, talk to me about today, because Brentford have been brilliant this season. They've been absolutely outstanding. How do you see this one going? What do you want from in terms of performance today?
Yeah, Brentford have been fantastic, as you say. No one gave Keith Andrews a chance. Of course, he spent a little bit of time at Brighton a few years ago, so nothing but respect for him. And I think people have got to put a lot of respect on his name. But it's going to be a tough afternoon. As you say, Brentford are flying high. So if we want a reaction from the games we've seen, it's going to be very hard to get that reaction this weekend. But I have to be confident in the lads. I have to support them because that's all I know. So hopefully.
Oh God, Joe, you sound nervous already this morning. So good luck to you. We hope it goes well, Joe. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you very much, guys.
Joe Sayers there. I wonder if there's anything in the coincidence that Tony Bloom's putting so much effort into Hearts in the same season that Brighton.
Well, he's had other clubs before.
There's nothing to that.
So, no, I wouldn't go. Look, they had some disruption in the summer. Belieber looked like he could be going. He didn't play as well he'd done the year before. He's a terrific young player. Like I said, the wide players have been a bit of an issue because they've had too many injuries, and they do affect the way Brighton play. I'm there today, Shebahn. I'm going Brentford. Brentford won't disappoint them. No. Brentford go for the jugular. They're quite direct. They've got pace. Sharda's back. He served his 3-match suspension. So you've got him, Thiago, which, again, obviously a handful. Utara, who's done really well. Awesome. Another powerhouse. They won't disappoint. This is a really tough test for Brighton today.
Brentford Brighton, all the updates on GameDay Live this afternoon here on talkSPORT. Don't miss, by the way, DAZN's stacked schedule with fights every week, and the weekend delivers the big one. 3 fight nights, one unmissable weekend only on DAZN. It all begins live from Nottingham tonight. Lee Wood takes on Josh Warrington. Then later on the evening from Las Vegas, Ryan Garcia chases his first world title against Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight world title. And then finally, Clarissa Shields faces Franchon Cruz-Dezern in an undisputed heavyweight rematch on Sunday. If you love your boxing, this is where it's at. Watch all of these fights only on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Right, get the kettle on, get your posh coffee, because Cappuccino with Tony Cascarino is on the way next on the Weekend Breakfast.
Mourinho, one of the best managers of our generation. But I'll tell you what, he's lost a lot of fans. He's lost a lot of neutral fans. And I just felt his comments were disgusting. For one, Vinicius Jr., if he wants to run to the corner flag and do a dance that a lot of Brazilian players do, Cunha danced when he scored against Arsenal, didn't receive racial abuse from anybody, any player. So Vinicius Jr. is allowed to dance. And also, Eusebio is one of our best ever players. This club cannot be racist. What does that mean? Because your best ever player was black. That means no one else can be racist to do with your football club. And also, no one says Benfica was a racist football club, did they? It was alleged that a player had been racist. So why is Mourinho protecting the football club when no one's said that Benfica are a racist football club? Very odd.
Well, Benfica are not a homogenous group, are they? They're made up of individuals, and Prestiani is his own individual, and he's the one who's accused of the racism. It's not like everyone's accusing the club of it. It just seems a little bit strange that now Benfica have come out in support of him, almost suggesting that there is sort of a defamation campaign against him. And the problem here is that we'll never be able to prove the contrary, because all you've got is eyewitness statements of people who say that they've heard it. But if he sits there and says, "Oh, I didn't say that," or "I didn't mean that," then there is very difficult to prove. Like lots of different cases across the world, if you're in a court of law, you have to prove it in order to punish.
Good morning. Welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn Aherne. Former Nancy striker Tony Cascarino is with us now as well. I can't get the golf on for you. I'm trying to turn the channel on, but
yeah, well, you know, is Rory's flying out in America, and so is Marco Penge, who's going to be a big name. Well, he's a big name from last year. He won last season, and he's an hell of a player as well. So some really great golf going on in America.
He puts the pressure on me to work the remote controls in here.
But this is the Kenya one I want to watch. This is the DP tour.
Engineering, if you're listening, any chance you can come up and put the golf on for Cass?
I love the golf on the TV.
We've got this huge screen. He would love to watch the golf, please. That would be absolutely magic. Okay, he's wanting the golf, but it's time now for a little bit of this.
A cappuccino with Cascarino on talkSPORT. Yummy.
Okay, I'm going to put my feet up now. Right. This is the time of the day where we all enjoy our nice coffee and you tell us a story.
Okay, my faith in football absolutely this week and other weeks has been restored, because I just want to tell you a quick little story in regards to Chelsea Football Club and Sally Mills especially. Sally deals with ex-players. She looks after the box at Chelsea, and she also organises days at Chelsea Football Club. And I've got a friend whose nephew is seriously ill, and she arranged a day at Cobham, meet the players, manager, on the day off. Well, they weren't a day off for them, but they were, building up to this game the weekend. And Sally done an amazing job. Moose had a great day. Met the players, met Liam Rosinia, who said he was terrific, took photos. And this is a common theme in football club. And I'm going to take you back to the pandemic as well. And it's not only Chelsea, because Millwall have done some great things, Gillingham, all the ex-clubs I've played for, from Marseille in France, Celtic and Foundations, what they do, across the board. We all think this football clubs is all greed, money, and, you know, of course this is crazy sort of stuff regarding what you can earn as a football club and what you charge and how much you pay the players. Of course, it's all, to the normal person, it's excessive beyond belief. But there's some great things that go on at football clubs as well. And Sally arranged this day, and I just thought, fair play to her, made a young man very, very happy for a day, an incredible experience. And I'm just going to go back to the pandemic. When the pandemic was on, and we were all literally tied at home, I got a phone call. And hello, it's, I think it was Caroline at the time, another person who works for Chelsea. I don't think Caroline's still there, though. And she said, just phone in to see if you're okay. And we're checking all our ex-players during the pandemic, seeing everyone's okay. And I went, well, yeah, I'm fine, thank you. So she went, anything you need? I said, well, contract at Chelsea, playing contract.
One of those $250,000 ones, please.
I'll take a couple of $100,000 a week. No, I said, yeah. I said, I couldn't believe they'd phoned me and many other players to see how they were. And lo and behold, I found across the board that this was going on by many clubs. It wasn't just Chelsea. But I've just felt, restored my faith in what football clubs do behind the scenes. And it's not always broadcast out that, you know, oh, they do this or they don't do that, you know. I just feel, and all my ex-clubs have been brilliant. You know, whether it's Gillingham, whether it's Millwall, go and do things. I was in Millwall 2 weeks ago, me and Mick McCarthy, we had a great day. And likewise, like I said, other clubs. And there's a lot, just want people to know that football clubs really do care. You know, deep in the club, there's people that work for these football clubs that do their utmost for you.
I think that's refreshing to hear. The Legends of Football Night, which happens in October. So going back to the last one, Palace in the thick of everything. Steve Parish is there. He's got his table. He's digging deep on that night. Sean Dyche is there, you know, contributing towards that charity as well, which helps so many children.
Exactly.
Through music. It's such a wonderful thing. I actually did an event with Gabby Agbonlahor and Paul Merson, a kind of Villa Legends night not too long ago. And one of the Q&A sections of the show was asking Gabby, or just thanking Gabby, about his wish come true that he made for a young boy who wasn't well, from one of the mums who was there in the crowd. And years ago, Gabby went out his way to have that wee boy be a mascot. Sadly, the wee boy is no longer with us. No. But Gabby made sure that was his wish, and he went into work the next day. And players see that, and they want to give that moment. You know, sometimes we see the mascots situation the other day.
Yes. You know, and again, Chelsea took a little bit of bad publicity, didn't they? From, you know, and I feel like players do want to get. You can't. Of
course they do.
They're not going to get every moment of every day right, are they?
Yeah.
So it was just restored my faith this week. It really did, and other weeks. This is nothing new. I know that, you know, football clubs have got no divine right to give you anything as an ex-player. You know, Chelsea give ex-players 2 games a season in a box to take a friend or a family member. You know, you get 2 games. You have the choice. So there's a lot of ex-players. Some of them don't take it up, but they offer. Did
anybody need their support? Did anybody need that help? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, Shebahn. All I know is I wasn't the only call. It wasn't privileged to me. It was all the other players across the board, especially ex-players, because there are ex-players that go through some really difficult, tough times for whatever happens in their life, and also giving back to the community. The community at football club is just so important. You know, I look at towns and cities across the country and all these football clubs that give so much to you know, the citizens of their towns and cities. I applaud them for that.
And your former club Celtic, I was with them last week at the Celtic FC Foundation, the 30th anniversary, and the money that they raised towards giving people a hot meal, you know, 4 nights a week, where they open their doors and they come into the lounges and they've got people to talk to in that moment. You're right. I mean, we don't focus on that enough with football.
Well, one of the great ones was my first season at Aston Villa. At Christmas time, I was asked to do the Christmas dinner on Christmas Day to go in. and it still sticks in with me. What a great memory that was.
There you go.
You know, people in who care, getting a meal for the day, and you go in and you visit them, and you know, just a helping hand for an hour or so.
I'm glad you brought that up today. That was a very good cappuccino with Cascarino, reminding us what it's all about. And it's time now for this.
And they're off.
Win a trip to Cheltenham, Alan Brazil style, on talkSPORT.
Oh, Cheltenham's just around the corner. This music and Alan Brazil don't go hand in hand, but we'll take it. We are giving you the ultimate hospitality experience for two at Cheltenham on Friday the 13th of March for Gold Cup Day. Full VIP treatment, 4-course lunch, complimentary bar all day long, tipsters in the booths next to you, all of that kind of stuff. You'll be experiencing the races in the best way possible. Here's how you can get involved. Text the word WIN to 83338. Texts are £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call this number 0343 418 7260. Lines close on the 27th of February at 4 p.m. I feel like you're going to the opera, but you're not. You're going to Cheltenham. Brazil will be there. Do it properly, all thanks to us. You'll need to answer your phone if we call you on the 27th of February. It's 18 plus UK residents only. Call 0343 418 7260 or text the word WIN to 83338 now. It's a full network promotion and a talkSPORT promotion, and full terms and conditions at talksport.com. Coming up next, we'll get into a huge weekend for the Six Nations. England against Ireland later on this afternoon.
There were reports that the night that Sean Dyche was sacked after that Wolves game, 4 or 5 senior players were called into Marinakis' boardroom, and they essentially said, "We're not loving this." And I don't like that. That feels unfair to someone like Sean Dyche. However, last night I think was great evidence, because the players played with the reins off. They played with freedom, and I think it shows that how maybe unhappy some of those players were under Sean Dyche. The fact that they went to Istanbul, to a team unbeaten domestically under Dominic Tedesco, and absolutely played them off the park.
Yeah, on paper, Max, you look at your team. I mean,
I know, yeah.
Hudson-Odoi on the wide, on his
Gibbs
day, he can do it. Hutchinson,
Yeah.
you've got Gibbs White, as you mentioned there. You've got Elliot Anderson in midfield as well. So you've got some top players.
I think he's the key, Elliot Anderson, because he's the dynamo, he's the driving force. And if he can win and keep them playing and get the balls to the danger men, then Forest have every chance.
Without a doubt. Look, and we all know that Elliot Anderson's destined for the top 4 team. He's got the talent to be absolutely world class. The way that he moves, there are shades of Zidane about him. And I know that people will laugh at that, but he is something special. And I think if England are going to do something special this summer, he's going to be a massive part of that for Thomas Tuchel. But people have been saying this about Forest all season, boys. They've been saying, well, they'll be absolutely fine. Look at the players, and they'll list the exact same players you just have, understandably. But ultimately, the chaos off the pitch is what's caused this.
Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? That seems to be the case with the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centerpiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first Super Bowl was held in 1967. Initially, the halftime show was a display purely for the fans in the stadium, with marching bands, dancers and American patriotism for all to see. And that's what it was for the first few years. Disney had a go with a few questionable displays in the 1980s, but it wasn't until 93 that we got the first glimpse into the future of halftime shows. Michael Jackson's stellar performance gave NFL execs something to think about. A raft of massive names followed, including Diana Ross, U2, Janet Jackson, who gave us the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction of all time. So how many people are involved? To give you an idea of the scale, Rihanna's 2023 performance included 800 people, and experts reckon it cost $13 million. What's even more impressive than some of the names on the bill every year is the fact they do it for free. The artists know the exposure they'll get from doing the show will rocket them up the charts across the world. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Good morning. Weekend breakfast on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn. Former Millwall and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino is here as well. Don't forget live football for you tonight here on talkSPORT. Man City face Newcastle. We've got commentary for you. Kick off at 8. Some of your headlines at UK. Ohashi's stoppage time header earned Blackburn a crucial 1-0 win over Lancashire rivals Preston North End in Michael O'Neill's first home game as Rovers boss. In major boxing news, this is everywhere. Britain's Conor Benn has left Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing after a decade to sign with Zuffa Boxing, led by Dana White. This was a bit of a shock, wasn't it?
Yeah, very big shock.
Very surprised by it.
Well, especially after he's won. He had the rematch and he won. And you'd think, you'd stay in house. But obviously, I would imagine there's been an offer. Might be impossible to turn down for Conor.
Also, Manchester United travelled to Everton on Monday night. Michael Carrick was asked whether Sir Jim Ratcliffe has risked undermining the unity of the club with his comments last week.
Got a really strong group, whether that's the players in around the dressing room and the staff and certainly around the club and outside of the club, but certainly within the club. I think we're in constant communication anyway. We're here to support each other and help each other in whatever way we can. So the boys have been in really good spirits this week in terms of training. We've had some time away, so I think that was important for a refresh and a bit of a deep breath of everything, for the short time we've kind of been together to digest everything and then come back and focusing on what's next. So we're looking forward to the next game at this stage. But yeah, obviously we're here to help each other, support each other in any way we possibly can.
What do you think about that, Cass? Do you think Sir Jim Ratcliffe's words can affect the dressing room?
Not really, no. No, I don't think. If I was listening to someone of comments I didn't agree with or did, I wouldn't really affect me, and I think other teammates. I feel a bit sorry for. I say sorry. It's the wrong word. Michael Carrick has to face the music, and he's getting asking questions about the guy upstairs who owns the football club, and he's just trying to do a job of getting results, winning matches to get Manchester United in the Champions League. So, and I thought Michael handled it well.
Yeah.
Just generally, he's trying to get the team, as he said, in the right position to play their best football. And let's face it, he's done really well since he's taken over.
Let's move to Monday night then. 7 o'clock, kick-off at 8 here on talkSPORT. What do you make of this game? I'd say it's a pretty tough one for Man United.
On Monday night?
We've got Everton.
Yeah, well, I think the way they're playing, Shebahn, is quite clear for everyone to see that they're a side that are taking it to the opposition. Man United fans are enjoying it. I think the late equaliser they got just recently as well in the game just shows that they're capable. Their win at Arsenal was exceptional. I think all good things. It's always makes it a bit more spicy that David Moyes, who managed Man United as well. You know, it's always a nice thing to have that sort of in the background. And Everton have had a decent season. You know, they're lying 8th in the table at the moment, Shebahn, and not even close to being a relegation team. And David Moyes said at the very start of the season, don't want to be involved in a relegation battle at all. And of course that's obvious, but really meant it. He was looking higher in the table. And so, and made a lot of interesting signings during the course of the season. So Everton have done all right. They've done really well this year.
What a job. What a job. I mean, 8th for Everton. Unbelievable stuff from David Moyes and the team. Monday night, Man United will go to them at Hill Dickinson. It's live for you here on talkSPORT. Right, England are looking to bounce back after their Murrayfield nightmare last weekend, which saw their Grand Slam dreams go up in smoke. This afternoon, they take on Ireland at Twickenham with their captain Maro Itoje set to win his 100th cap. He told talkSPORT's Alfie Reynolds how delighted he is to reach this milestone.
No, it feels amazing. I'm very, obviously, happy, delighted. It's a great honour and responsibility. But no, it's amazing. It's what dreams are made of. Well, it's been 10 years. Yeah. We play roughly 10 test matches a year, so it's in many ways it feels quick. I remember when I was the young one. Whenever we talk about this, it always reminds of David Cameron's remark in PMQs once when he said, "I was the future once." But no, it's in many ways it feels like it happened quite quick, and in many ways it's felt like a journey to get here. So I've just loved it all.
He's magnificent. He really is. I mean, what a year he's had as well to captain the Lions, to win, down under. Everything that he's been able to do as an individual, to do with the team. Then to captain England, now gets 100th cap, and he got married this year, and he recently lost his mum as well. It's like all of these amazing things and cruel things happening at the one time.
Yeah, the words there when he just used and said, you're being presented as a young player and the future. And do you know what? When I first started football, a player called Dick Tideman, who had played for Cheltenham and Gillingham, said to me, "Shebahn, your career will go like that, click of fingers." And a sporting career is generally that. Whether you're a footballer or rugby, tennis, there's very few that get to their mid and late 30s. And Mario's what now, 34?
Yeah, Maro,
yeah. So, and he's had a great career. And what a day today it's going to be, England versus Ireland.
Yeah, in fact, the Times have got a really lovely pull-out. Maro's 31 now, but the scrum pull-out, they've made up all of his 100 appearances for England and made a picture of him, like a kind of picture of him.
It's a brilliant picture, yeah.
Really good stuff. Maro Itoje today. Will he be their lucky charm against Ireland? Former London Irish and England winger Topsy Ojo is with us to look ahead to this one. Good morning, Topsy.
Good morning, guys. How you all doing?
Yeah, we're great. This has been a strange Six Nations, because obviously France have been really dominant, Topsy, but we're seeing England now face Ireland. Ireland aren't quite the Ireland of probably a year ago, are they? So it's a really, really good battle at Twickenham.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, like you said, you kind of got these three narratives at the minute. You've got France, who are head and shoulders the best team at the minute. Then you've got a middle pack of Scotland, Ireland, England and Italy, who are kind of jostling to see who's going to compete down the stretch. And then Wales, who are still Wales, so still trying to figure out where they go from here. But today's going to be really good. England and Ireland, always a good battle. And it's almost a bit of a knockout now. I think the loser's going to struggle to win the Six Nations. You don't lose two games and win the Six Nations. So, yeah, it's really set up nicely for this afternoon.
Yeah. So tell us how you think England will react, because the Calcutta Cup, obviously Scotland getting the better of England. Was you surprised in the manner of the defeat?
Annoyingly, I was. I was there with expectations that it would be ferocious, but that England might come out of the other side of it. But they never got going. Scotland were brilliant. England probably played the worst I've seen them for a while. Lots of mistakes, lots of errors, and it led to the performance and the result. So fair play to Scotland. England will bounce back. I was in camp this week speaking to some of the guys, and after the 12-game winning run, it's almost a bit like they hadn't had that losing feeling for a while. So it was a bit weird for a bit anyway. But I think they'll be looking forward to bouncing back, looking forward to being back at the Allianz. We've got some milestones. Of course, Maro's 100 cap, Henry Pollock's first start. So there's the feel-good factor of coming back home will be huge. And there's a break after this weekend as well. So, you've got that in. You've got wanting to keep their Six Nations alive. So there's a huge amount to play for. So I think there should definitely be a reaction today.
Andy Farrell's Ireland, and like I said, not quite the same. A lot of Leinster players still there. Do you expect them to be a real tricky side for England today?
Yeah, massively. It's a funny one. Ireland was so successful for so long and they set their bar so high. It's almost how long can you keep doing that? And, you look at, yes, their pool of players are a little bit older. But Andy Farrell's a brilliant coach. He's a Lions coach. He's been so successful at Ireland. So he'll figure out what they need to do. They've made a couple of changes today, which I think will help massively. And they'll come with a really good game plan. So it's going to be a good battle. And you've got a lot of the guys that went on the British and Irish Lions tour playing together against each other as well, which is kind of another narrative going on. So it's going to be really good today.
Who's your favourite now to win at Topsy after what happened last weekend?
It's still France, for sure. I mean, France seem to be the team that just are going through the gears at the minute. They've been the one that can change their lineup, bring in some new faces, leave some more experienced faces at home, and still win by 30, 40 points. So they've got Italy on Sunday. I think Italy will run them a bit closer, but I still see France winning that. And then they're 2 games away from either the title or another Grand Slam. So it will then be up to either Scotland or England on the final weekend. I mean, that would be nice for England to be going to Paris on the final weekend to try and stop France winning it and win it themselves. If you could have these things play out how you wanted them to, that would be quite nice now.
Yeah, it would be a lot kinder to us. You mentioned Wales there, just struggling and trying to find who they are or what they are just now. They've got Scotland, who were magnificent last week, weren't they?
Yeah, Scotland were brilliant. And, I guess the talk of Scotland always play well in the Calcutta Cup recently. That was their 5th win out of 6. But I think the next step for them now is how they take that on the road. And it's a great fixture for them to go and kind of build on what they did against England last weekend. For Wales, it's just going to be tough for a while longer. There's all sorts going on off the pitch with the unions. The team that they currently have on the pitch don't have the experience across the board to cope with some of the teams that they're playing at the minute. And the Six Nations doesn't let up, doesn't give you any rest. Every weekend is a big game, and Scotland coming to town off the high of last weekend, it's just another challenge they have to face. So start with the basics, kick, chase, tackle, almost strip it really back and go from there. But just appreciate that it's going to take a while to get yourselves back to the top table.
Wow.
Where are you off to today now, Topsy? You're in the car. Where are you off to?
Yeah, I will be at the Allianz later on. So looking forward to that one. Just some morning errands first before I'm allowed out the house.
What is Topsy's morning errands? What do they look like?
To the shops, go make sure we've got teas, coffees, and all of that, some breakfast, before I disappear for 8 hours.
Speaking like a proper real human being now, Topsy. We love you. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Cheers,
Enjoy today.
All good. Take care, guys.
Take care. Topsy Itoje there, former London Irish and England winger. What's your errands? If Joe says to you, jump in the car and go and get whatever.
Yeah, I'll just do it. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind running out and getting bits. Doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, I just, to me, it's, just nip down to the shops and get what we need. I have to, look, like today, I left this morning at 4:15. I won't get in tonight till about 7:30.
Oh, love me.
Right? So it's a long day, and Joe's got a lot going on with Rocco, our son, and doing stuff. I'll get back and then I'll be up early in the morning, and tomorrow's a really big day again. So my weekend's a total football.
Hold on a minute. Has anyone got the violin?
No one. No, I'm not feeling sorry for myself at all. I love what I do. I really enjoy myself, Shebahn. I do. I've been really blessed. I've been involved 43 years in a sport I love.
Why does it feel like you're defending yourself?
Well, because I'm not.
Get the food on the table. All right. Stop making
I love doing what I'm doing.
Brilliant. Looking forward to the Six Nations today. Huge day ahead. Don't forget all the updates from England, Ireland at 2:10 with our reporter, Alfie Reynolds. Wales,
what about you?
Everything. Do it all. Do it all.
You're never at home. You're always out.
Oh
you
my
even
God.
said to me, I'm never at home. Jamie's having to do everything.
Are you just mum shaming me live on it? You're probably right. France, Italy tomorrow as well. Coming up next, we'll do some fun stuff, some nonsense from the front pages today. Good morning. It's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. How dare you? How dare
I'll tell you why I'm not worried. Because if Arteta doesn't win anything this season, major, then it has to go. All right?
No, I disagree with that.
No, well, you would, wouldn't you? But we don't sack managers every other week.
But you can't sack
right?
a manager who gets to the latter stages of every competition. You can't. You can't.
You can,
mate.
when the pattern emerges.
You can sack them.
The
Would you sack
pattern
him?
emerges. Chelsea did it.
It depends what they do.
They won things.
So, John,
Okay, here's a question. Would you sack Arteta if they finish second in
well, what happens in the
Premier
Champions League?
They lose in the final.
What happens in the Carabao Cup?
Lose in the final.
FA Cup?
Lose in the final.
No, mate, he's got to go. You can't.
You're gonna sack him.
You can't get to three
finals.
You can't get to three finals and finish second. You can't. That to me tells that is all the evidence. No, you well done. It's a little bit like what Claudio Ranieri done at Chelsea. Chelsea he finished second that season. We beat Arsenal in the semi-final, quarter-final of the Champions League. Got beat by Monaco. Jose comes in. We've gone from second to the quarter-finals to almost winning. We won the title, won the Carabao Cup. Arteta might just be that man. He might be the nearly man. He might be the man, but he might be the nearly man. If he's the nearly man,
well, you'd sack him. You've got to be careful what you wish for, Jake. You built this team for him.
I'm not saying
built this team. And if they don't win it this season, or they finish second and they miss the cup finals, whatever. I don't think you can sack Arteta. I don't, mate.
I think you can.
From where they've come from.
No, but that's the point I'm making. He has taken them to this point. Now their time is now. Their time is now. And if it's not now, I don't know when it ever is going to be. Because City will be stronger next season.
This morning?
No.
Gag a minute.
I'm just happy. Happy today.
All right. I need to know more about that happiness. Good morning. Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Come and see Cass's smile live on the YouTube channel or on your smart TV. You can watch us now in the studio at Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino, where we're just... I can't even tell you.
Nice to see you too, Cass. Hello.
Sam is back. Sam Stevens with
Sam
today's
is back.
front pages.
I thought this season was better as well, you see.
I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, it sounds like Nirvana. Is it Nirvana? Oasis, is it? It sounds like Nirvana to me.
Heard of them?
It was a bit loud in my ear.
I thought as the producer of the show, so I thought I'd come back and entertain you with some front pages.
You love the front pages.
I do love the front pages.
We do have a 4-hour show today, to be fair.
Exactly.
This is Cass's pick-me-up time.
This is filler. No, this is Cass's pick-me-up time. That's right.
Because he's been at his sleepy stage, now he's at his giggle stage, so we've got to keep him going through.
I'd love to know what you think of this, Cass. A dad was almost bankrupted after his daughter racked up a £42,000 phone bill using TikTok abroad. And I'm not going to name the guy, actually. Said he thought this individual said he thought he'd lose his business after his daughter used the social media app for 8 hours on a holiday in Marrakesh. The contract for the phone, bought from a particular company and provided by O2, contained a clause that left data roaming uncapped outside Europe. In the following weeks, O2 sent 2 bills that amounted to £42,000, more than £5,000 per hour of use on the app. How would you feel if your children decided they wanted to start using freely social media apps while they're on holiday and costing you a fortune?
How do you answer that, Sam? How would you feel? I'd be delighted.
No, but
But have they come to you with bills like that? Like, Dad, can you help me with this phone bill?
Oh, I've had that a couple of times.
Apps,
yeah,
that sort of
not a phone bill, but other bills.
I want to say my mate did it.
But
wrapped up a crazy bill and went to Mum and Dad like I didn't realise.
Sometimes you can do it when you download games on your phone, and the kids have had
that's
parental
a scam, Sam. Scam, Sam?
Scam.
Scam. No, surely that's a scam as well. How can you charge $42,000 for 5,000 an hour?
Well, you've got to read your contracts if you're in a mobile phone contract.
That's
you don't get roaming chucked in, do you? Sometimes it can cost you an absolute fortune.
That should be made illegal. You can't be charging them sums of money.
Poor guy. And did he pay it? Do we know? Did he have to settle that in the end? Surely they would have done something about that.
There's probably an end to it and says he paid $300.
He said there's no way they should be able to charge that. Like you said, they made no effort to inform us. I don't understand how they expect any small business to pay that sort of bill. And they are currently reviewing the situation.
That's
no way you're paying that.
Awful.
Oh, 42 grand on TikTok.
But do you not think to yourself as well, right, Shebahn? If you're on holiday, do you really need to be using TikTok for that amount of time, 8 hours a day?
Kids. It's kids. That's
really, we're going to excuse it for that, are we?
They're showing off, aren't they? On their
beautiful surroundings in Marrakesh, but no, got to be on TikTok.
Instagram reality, all that kind of stuff. Showing off.
No.
Not for you guys?
No, you can't be doing that.
What about this? This might be more your bag. An elderly couple whose home was sadly and very sadly destroyed by a falling tree during a storm. That is not the good part of the story, obviously. They've moved into their local Wetherspoons. That's the interesting bit of this story. Catherine and Harold Mills spent their first night at the hotel pub on January the 9th and 6 weeks on have become part of the furniture. They enjoy budget meals daily at the 37-room John Francis Bassett in Camborne in Cornwall. Catherine, 86, and Harold, 84, will be there until at least the 5th of March when they hope to move into a rental property, ending a 55-day stay. So would you fancy moving into a pub for a limited time in order to, enjoy some free or cheaper hospitality?
Well, that would be quite reasonable, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be ultra expensive.
How much are you about a night and something like that? Probably about 60 quid?
Yeah, I reckon you can probably get a room for about that.
I was going to say less than 100.
Where's Liam Rosenior staying? Because he's in a hotel, isn't he?
Probably not at
If
Wetherspoons.
he's in his local pub.
That's quite a good solution, isn't it? To in terms of being resourceful when you're at your home for a
They
little
might not ever move out. I wonder if they
Exactly.
give them a bit
There is a cheaper way. Family, if they've got an extra,
Yeah, true.
an annex or
Unless
something.
they can't stand their kids.
Yeah, true. But also, you got a pub on your doorstep.
The amount of people as well, who are now building the kind of outhouses in the back of their gardens for their kids because houses are so expensive now. No one's getting on the property ladder.
They said
No, it's frightening that.
They said they've got through most. Apparently the couple who have one daughter and one grandson said they've got through most of the menu. The breakfast is so cheap. Where can you get anything else for $2.99 these days?
Very
They
true.
said.
$2.99.
You can't get it anywhere.
Can't complain about
Can't
that.
even get a coffee in London for that.
By the way, if you were to do the wee hut in the back of the garden, you'd have seven huts for all the children and all their families moving in.
We wish them well in their endeavours of getting back into their home.
Good luck.
It's a very awful situation. No one. It's happened to me once upon a time.
Yeah.
Being flooded out of my flat, and it was absolutely the worst thing that possibly happened. So we wish them all the very best. But look like they're having a nice time at Wetherspoons, so that's good.
Yeah.
And last but not least, man up, chaps. I know we're not allowed to say that anymore, are we? Man up, chaps.
Offensive.
Women are officially the tougher sex. How about that? Boffins have ruled that chronic pain lasts a lot longer for women than men. Studies have shown that guys have a hormone that switches pain off much faster than it does for lasses. But this study may come as no surprise to women. After all, they go through childbirth and other things and still have the ability to look after their fellas when they have man flu. So do we think there's a lot to be said for this, Cass?
Here.
Well, I tell you what I've noticed, and the amount of women now that have so many tattoos. And tattoos is a painful experience. Not that I've had one, but
I'm sure it is.
I'm told. But I see the amount of women that are prepared to go under, and have a tattoo done. Wow. And childbirth is the obvious one, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Can we get that machine in that gives Cass the cramps?
Oh, we should.
Give the man the cramp.
See what it's like.
That you put a little machine to you and then it'll give you like stomach cramps.
Oh, right.
And then you get to experience for a brief moment what it's like for us.
Cool.
Every blooming
Sounds really nice.
What's the most painful thing that's ever happened to you? If you can reveal it on air.
I broke a rib when I was playing against Blackburn, and I carried on, and I was in agony after the game. Because the breaks, you don't have an operation for a broken rib.
Sure.
It just naturally fixes, doesn't it? But that was really painful. I couldn't. Breathing was really tough. At one moment, you were so concerned because you think you're puncturing your lungs or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Did you get much sympathy for that? Did you?
No, not really.
No.
Just got on with it. In that time, in the 90s, you just got on with it.
I ruptured an ovary.
Oh. Yeah. So tell us, is that
so 1-0 me?
Would you say quickly on that? What would you say is worse, earache, toothache, or headache? Obviously, you get
they're all annoying pains.
I mean, because honestly, earache
contraction pain
is the worst I've had out of all the three of them.
Yeah, I think
ruptured ovary pain.
I was going to say it might be levels here.
Pure vom. Like I was on the floor like Dawn of the Dead, dragging myself into Luton Hospital like that. That was disgraceful.
Absolutely brutal. So I think that survey might have some legs.
Yeah, no, in fact, what is the most pain you've been through? Coming up next, we'll turn our attention back to the football. Thrilling day in the EFL. Coventry legends will be joining us soon ahead of their trip to West Brom. It's live on talkSPORT 2. Good morning.
Just unbelievable how things have changed so dramatically just from like a 190-minute game where Arsenal
No,
really...
but it's not 190-minute game, though.
No, it's not.
It's been a few weeks now.
No, you're right. But if Arsenal win that 2-0 compared to drawing it 2-2, the narrative is so different. The point, it's so... We're talking about now, you said it last night, championship rounds. We are there. We're approaching that time now.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the funny thing, right, is that it's... Man City, right? They're not putting Arsenal under pressure. This is not like Man City and Liverpool going toe to toe, where City win, Liverpool win, City win, Liverpool draw, City win, Liverpool win, City. And do you remember that under Klopp and Pep, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when Chelsea were like going toe to toe with Man United. There'll be that they win, and you have to go. And there's like the points difference was minute, and every result mattered. The only reason that Man City are back in this title race ain't because of Man City. It's because of Arsenal. That's the reason they're back in it. Not that Man City are like putting pressure on them. The only pressure that's coming is from.
So you think it's more about them stumbling than
yes,
actually?
100%. This is not breathing down your neck.
I know, but I think Man City are. They've been they're rebuilding, right? They've built a new team.
Yeah.
Arsenal's team was ready to win it, so. Yeah. But I feel like Man City now, this is when Man City come alive. Like, this is when they come alive.
This will be the worst Man City side to win the Premier League.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Good morning to you. You're listening to the Weekend Sports at Breakfast. Thanks for turning on talkSPORT. My name is Shebahn Aherne. Former Chelsea and Marseille striker Tony Cascarino is here.
Good morning.
Today, Brentford welcome Brighton as they look to boost their push for European football. And B's boss Keith Andrews says his players will give everything to make sure they hit their targets this season.
We'll just take things day to day, week to week, really. I think that's the only way you can do things. And just keep pushing, see where that ends up. And hopefully that's in a really good place.
Some man for one man. Keith Andrews doing bits. We'll have updates on that one on GameDay Live from 3 o'clock with talkSPORT's Adrian Durham. Aston Villa host Leeds at Villa Park, and despite conceding that they're out of the title race, Villa manager Unai Emery says his side must end the season strongly to qualify for Champions League football.
To get Europe through the Premier League, 6, 7 or 8 teams get in it. Of course,
we want to be one of them.
And Newcastle United head to Manchester City off the back of a 6-1 Champions League win over Qarabag. And boss Eddie Howe says he hopes his side have learned lessons from their last trip to the Etihad.
With each painful defeat that we've suffered, especially at the Etihad, I think you grow from it, and that's what we try to do. So then when we play other teams, we've tried to evolve and improve.
Should be a brilliant game tonight. We're going to hear from Newcastle defender Dan Burn on the show. We're building up to a massive one on talkSPORT tonight. 8 o'clock kickoff. Manchester City against Newcastle. It's the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning. Right. I've got a Red Bull. Cass has gone for a peach iced tea. Talk to us about your feelings this morning.
My what?
Why you went for an iced peach tea?
I just didn't fancy a coffee.
Isn't that nice?
It's not bad. Fancy something sweet and cold.
Yeah. Like me. Sound weird. Anyway, onto the Championship. Wrexham versus Ipswich. 3 o'clock today. Battle between 7th and 4th. Ipswich 6 points off Borough with 2 games in hand. Wrexham level on points with Derby in 6th. Do you think Ipswich can get those automatic promotion spots?
Well, they're in a great position at the moment. Obviously, they've got a couple of games out in hand. They've only played 30 and the teams above them have played 32. Automatic. They can get within 1 point of Middlesbrough. And 2 points behind Coventry. So, great. I mean, Jack Clark's done brilliantly well this season for Ipswich. Got a lot of goals. And he's clearly a talent. There's no doubt about that. So, yeah, they've been going. Ipswich have got, they got Wrexham, haven't they, away? Ipswich.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They were at Wrexham. And they lost there in the Cup last week, didn't they?
Yep.
So, but that doesn't mean too much going into today's game.
Yeah, that's over on talkSPORT 2 this afternoon, as is West Brom versus Coventry. Coventry travel to West Brom. Fresh from beating promotion challengers Middlesbrough 3-1. All thanks to the Haji Wright hat-trick. It moves the Sky Blues 6 points clear of third place Millwall with 14 games remaining despite their statement win. Cov boss Frank Lampard says the battle for promotion is far from over.
When they play like that, the lads, and when they're together like that, then we can do a lot. We've showed that this season already, but there's 14 more of these. So I think it's important to stay humble about it and realise what the lads put into that game. Train well, recover well, train well, recover well, and push and push, because there's going to be a lot of stuff to come still.
So we're building up to those games, pleased to say, joined by a man who made over 150 appearances for the Sky Blues. Cov legend Dave Bennett is with us. Good morning, Dave.
Hi,
Good morning. All right, how are you?
Yeah, a long time, David.
Yeah.
I think I played against you when you was at Sunderland, didn't I?
No, I don't think so. I think I played against you when you was at Millwall.
Yeah, oh, right, okay.
How was that for you, Dave?
Don't ask him now. He'll say he was comfortable.
Did you have a peach iced tea with him after the game? That's what he's on this morning.
Probably having a fight with him.
No. David, tell us about Coventry, because they've had an incredible season. And yes, it's not been as great as what they started, but I've had some really big wins. I mean, I thought when they beat Millwall, that was a really tight game. But Frank Lampard and Coventry, it feels like a perfect match at the moment.
Yes, we started the season very well. We just played the game and we're winning games, and other teams were getting beat. And the next thing you knew, we're pulling further and further away, as you well noticed. But when you're top, you're there to be caught, ain't you? Everybody wants to beat you, and the teams are getting to, as you say, suss us out, or we're getting beat to losing silly points, and now it's quite tight. But you still got to have faith in yourself and faith in the team that this league ain't over yet.
Tell us, I mean, look, being a Coventry fan, and you've got a free scoring team there, haven't you? I mean, quite clearly the top goal scorers in the Championship, 66 goals this year. It must be a great occasion to go to Coventry and watch the matches and seeing all this exciting brand of football.
Yeah, it's great, exciting, but we haven't won anything yet, or haven't gone anywhere yet. You should know that. We've still got half the season to go. We've got 14 games to go, and how you would do it, as we've been brought up, is that if we win our own games and if we can draw the away games, you think that it's enough for you to go up, because as you say, you start off with a point. Let's go on with a point, and that's what they've got to learn. And some of these guys, maybe it's about down to a little bit of experience and a little bit of guidance of people in the teams, that if you can't win the game, let's make sure that we don't lose it.
Yeah.
Talk to us about Frank as well. You're just loving him this season. It'd be great to see him back in the Prem.
Yeah, it's a good launching pad for Frank. He wants to get back into the Prem. He wants to prove that he's good enough to get back into the Prem, you know. And obviously, with doing well with Coventry City, he'll be an hot ticket, especially with managers leaving all the teams in the Premiership. It's up to him if he wants to fit. He'll have a choice because he's back in the Premiership, who he wants to go to, or if he wants to stay with Coventry City.
Tell us, because have you said to me one of the surprises of the season would have been, for me, West Brom of being where they are, just above the relegation zone. Incredibly poor season. It hasn't worked out at all. You're Midlands lads, so you know the sort of goings on up in the Black Country of this particular club, and I can't believe they've got themselves in this position, you know, being Coventry's opponents today.
Yes, that's right, but that's the Championship. We've got to play probably 4 or 5 of the teams down in the bottom, and that's where you've got to be on not 100%, 110%, because we've got to play Blackburn, we've got to play Sheffield United, we've got to play Wrexham, we've got to play Derby. Derby are looking on the brink of getting into the playoffs. So we've not got to be 100%. We've got to be 110, because they're fighting for their lives down there, and if we mess up, as you would say, they'll want to get through, and they want to make sure that we don't get promoted. That's how it is. It's a derby.
I just can't believe it looking at the table just now, Dave, where Leicester are sitting, West Brom. It's just chaos down there.
Absolutely, and they've got the players to get them out of that situation. And we've got to make sure that we're on guard and ready for it. And like I've just reinstated before, that we've got to be 100% today. Like we're going to play today, maybe West Brom will probably have a lot of the ball, so we've got to make sure we attack well and make sure that when we do attack, our back door ain't open so they don't catch us on our break, because we played against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough had a lot of the ball and we caught them on the break, so it might be vice versa today.
How about yourself, David? What are you up to these days?
Well, I do help with do a bit of walking football. You know, I'd still like to score a goal now and then.
Play some man for one man.
You know, I do walking football, working in the community for Coventry City, and then we do the former players with Coventry City, and we're doing really well. We've got a Legends Day. We play Stoke at home on the 28th, which is next week. We've got 52 ex-players coming, so we're doing really well. And as you well see, we're at top of the league, and everybody wants to come and watch Coventry at the moment. And we've got people, ex-players, coming back just to see how we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm remembering your sort of Brian Kilcline, Trevor Peake, and them sort of players. Tough lads they were.
Oh, brilliant. It's magnificent, because we meet up every 4 weeks, the whole FA Cup team, and now it's nearly 39 years since we won the cup, and we meet up every 3-4 weeks and talk about it, what we should have done and what we shouldn't do. And it's a unique relationship we've got, camaraderie, that we still talk together and still laugh together and still tell each other off.
Who's still got it, Dave? Out of all the guys that come and play, who's still got the magic touch?
None of them.
That's all we need to know, Dave.
I like to say I've still got it when I'm not stiff enough, you know. You know, I think you've got to warm up a little bit longer nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine Keith Houchin still brags on about his goal.
Well, not amongst us.
I know you can't get away with it, can you, with your teammates?
Yeah, you can't get away with it. You know what we're like. You just pull them down to your level, don't you? So, I'll tell you what, how many games did you play? How many what about the one you missed the other day? Hey, yeah.
Brilliant. Dave, enjoy the game today. Good luck to you. Coventry legend Dave Bennett with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Take care, Dave. 2:30, live on talkSPORT 2. West Brom take on Coventry City. I wonder if you've still got it. What if we put you out there?
No, I haven't. Not even going to try and show I have got it. I'll just about bend me right knee now.
Coming up later on in the show. We're going to hear from a man who ditched Arsenal's academy for a career at Spurs. Bit of a Spurs legend with us later on in the show, building up to the North London derby tomorrow. But up next, we've got a challenge for Tony Cascarino.
got to talk about Celtic. You know, the title, I don't. You've been away, right? The title's blown open now. Celtic favourites, Rangers second favourite, Hearts third.
Yeah.
And I've been whinging, right? And maybe I shouldn't because I don't go regular now. But I've been whinging about Celtic's lack of creation in midfield. It really annoyed me. I'm looking in the midfield saying, come on, we're better than that. Anyway, they got absolutely gubbed last night. But what I didn't know was, right from the first whistle, the old tennis balls came on.
Yeah. Martin O'Neill said something about it.
All I'm saying is this, right? I'm not trying to cover up a shocking result. Celtic got pumped, absolutely pumped, 4-1. But I'm not talking about that because Stuttgart are probably a decent side, better than Celtic.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the players any good when you start that carry on.
Well, it gives the away team a lift as well.
As Martin said, Stuttgart players would know about the atmosphere at
Park.
Absolutely.
Well,
all these tennis balls come on, they're saying, "Oh, lovely."
We were talking about. I think Martin was talking about when Juventus, they were scared to go to Celtic Park. You know, the atmosphere, the hostility, all that sort of stuff. It's not an easy place to go and play, probably as a European side, but they make it probably easier.
I'm going to upset a few now. Celtic fans, did you throw a tennis ball after the first kick? Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you're very disappointed the way things are going now.
The bold and all that sort of stuff.
For God's sake, it doesn't do it before.
Good morning, you're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on your smart TV. You can now watch talkSPORT. If you've been under a rock and you haven't heard us talking about this, stick on your smart telly. We're on Prime. We're on all the channels now. We're on the YouTube channel. talkSPORT if you fancy a little watch. My name's Shebahn Aherne. Former Villa striker Tony Cascarino is here, and I like to annoy him every weekend.
You never fail, do you?
Absolutely. Because I go down the rabbit hole on TikTok.
Yeah, I know.
And there's this viral trend going around to see how good people's musical rhythm is. They have to try and match the beat of Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You to a spoon hitting off the side of a pan. But I don't have a spoon and a pan with me this morning, so I've got a lip gloss and a mug. Here's Harry Kane's attempt at hitting the beat to I Will Always Love You. Butchered it, right?
Yeah.
This is your challenge. You have to hit the lip gloss to the cup on the beat to I Will Always Love You. You
Right.
ready? You going to do it live?
So, so that's when she actually starts singing.
When you know the
All right.
that's coming,
okay.
you've got a hit, okay?
All right.
DJ Baby Gabs, take it away.
But above all this, I wish you love.
Is that close?
You're about 3 seconds out, you donut. Right, give me a shot. Can we do it again, Gabs? Because I was a DJ, so I like to think I will be able to do this. Okay, Gabs, take it away. Go, go, go.
Happiness. But above all this, I wish you love.
Ain't that easy, is it?
It's a stupid game anyway. And that was when my DJ career ended. Okay then, time to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Dave Stevens, have you got a spoon and a mug nearby? Do you want to...
Do you know what? I'm so competitive. I actually counted along for the first one that Cass did. And then when they played it again for you, I was trying to count the gap and I still got it wrong.
Yeah, it's tough.
Not easy.
You have to wait. You have to wait longer than you think.
Hold your beans. Don't go too soon. Dave, have you been on holiday? You look very tanned.
I have been on holiday,
well.
Shebahn, yes. Thank you. You know, we've got Cheltenham coming up in a week with Alan Brazil, so one has to take the opportunity to rest while we can.
Good point.
David, a lot of football today. Mainly 3 o'clocks now because there's no early game. We've got a live game at West Ham taking on Bournemouth at 5:30 and Man City at 8 o'clock. Where do you want to start, David?
Yeah, look, let's work backwards, upset everyone else. But Manchester City, of course, Cass, they've been let back in the title race. That's what our odds say. They're 11-8, Arsenal 8-13. So this is as close as it's been for a long, long time. After obviously Arsenal dropping points at Wolves, which I don't think any of us really saw coming. They've got to go and do their side of the bargain. They're 1-2, 2-1 on to beat Newcastle. These teams know plenty about each other. They play each other again in the FA Cup. 4-1 Newcastle, 4-1 the draw. My prediction, for what it's worth, I said this to the boys yesterday, I think both Manchester City and Arsenal will drop more points in this Premier League season. Cass, would you concur with that? It's hard to see either of them. You know, I mean, if either of them went and won every game, they'd be champions. But I don't think either team has really been showing that sort of form. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, well, Arsenal have lost 3 games this season in the Premier League and Man City have lost 5, and that's quite a big number for City. Generally, they're 2 and 3, close to the end of the season. I'm like you, David. I think points are going to still be dropped. I mean, it's interesting. No one's even talking about Villa, because, even though they've got a game in hand, they're going to have to get some big results, and they're playing Leeds today. And that's a tough call for Villa to get another result.
I mean, Leeds are a team that have turned it around and turned it around quite dramatically, given they were odds on for relegation. Aston Villa are a shade of odds on at home, 5-6, 3-1 Leeds United, the draw 11-4. But I mean, in fairness, Big Al did sort of give Aston Villa a mention yesterday. He said, can they get back into it? I feel they've had enough of a blip that they're probably out of it, but there's still enough to go. A couple of teams doing brilliantly. Bournemouth, we have to mention them. I'm slightly surprised West Ham are favourites today, Shebahn, because albeit they are on a bit of a roll themselves. West Ham 6-4, 8-5 Bournemouth. Bournemouth, you have to say, in the hunt, maybe outside hunt for a European place, but the form they're in. And then Brentford, who took points off Arsenal. I don't think that was a particular shock, actually, because, as I say, they are going along really nicely. But they're just a shade of odds against 21-20 to beat a Brighton side who are in a little bit of freefall at the moment. And I've mentioned the title race, Kaz. Tottenham, well, I mean, they play tomorrow, but if West Ham do keep stringing results together and Tottenham don't, 5-1 Tottenham for relegation, those odds are going to get shorter. They're in a little bit of trouble, Tottenham, aren't they?
Well, if West Ham won today and Tottenham got beat tomorrow, what would the price be on Monday?
Yeah, it'd be half that, 5-1, I would.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a big weekend for both London clubs there.
Absolutely. And then just finishing off your old team, or one of your old teams, Cash, Chelsea, 1-4 against 9-1 shots Burnley. Burnley, I mean, clinging on, but we don't give them a lot of hope, I'm afraid.
No, it doesn't look likely, which is an absolute shame. Can we focus on the Six Nations then, Dave? And then a quick look at the racing today, please.
Absolutely. Scotland last week, Shebahn, what a result that was.
We did say it.
Yes, I know, but I don't know the thing about Scotland. They just raised their game against England and then perhaps against the games they should be winning. Wales obviously host them today. An 18-point start for Wales. I mean, they're having a woeful, well, not just a woeful Six Nations, a woeful few years. Mm-hmm. I think 18 points they might be able to hold on to that, Wales, with an 18-point start. And then England versus Ireland. England have got to pick themselves up. Ireland, obviously, won one, lost one so far. It's an 11-point start for Ireland at Twickenham. And again, that feels like quite a healthy start for the Irish. Obviously, talking of England versus Ireland battles or Britain versus Ireland, Cheltenham just around the corner. That's always huge. It's worth watching out, though, the 3:15 at Fairy House today over in Ireland, where the Bobby Joe chase is live on ITV4, which is great news. The last two winners of this race have gone on to win the Grand National. And there's loads entered today, so there could be clues for the Grand National. The big race at Kempton is the Ladbrokes Trophy, where Sean Bowen, our Coral ambassador, became just the 5th jump jockey to ride 200 winners in a season yesterday. He's got a big chance on Rising Dust. But I have to just touch on last night at Southwell, Constitution Hill. This wonderful hurdler at his very best, but he's fallen in 3 of his last 4 hurdle races. So they switched him back to the flat. He looked like an absolute flying machine. He bolted up. You can question the form of it, but he's now 9-4 favourite for the champion hurdle if he goes back hurdling. And he's just 14-1 for the Ascot Gold Cup in the summer on the flat. So really exciting night last night. And we'll see where they go with Constitution Hill next.
Incredible stuff, Dave. Go and get the wooden spoon in the pot. Practice your timing, okay? We'll speak to you again tomorrow.
Yes, guys.
All the best. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18 plus. Be gambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Coming up for you next, we're going to discuss West Ham. Are they going to end up staying up after all? 03717 722 3344 is the number. You can have your say.
Do you doubt that Jermaine can take Moses Itoje into the later rounds?
I think he's going to get knocked out. I do. I think I just know. And by the way, saying someone's going to get knocked out is not meant to be disrespectful. I'm not disrespecting Jermaine. I'm looking at the fight, looking at Moses Itoje, looking at what I've seen from Jermaine. And I think that ideally, I don't want to see an early fight. I want to see a good fight. I want to see Jermaine stick it on Moses Itoje. I want to see a good fight. And ultimately, we have an enjoyable evening watching two good fighters put something out. But I think Moses, I don't think he's been in with someone as quick and as fast and at this stage in his career. Going in with Anthony Joshua and Dillian White at their stages in their career is not the same going in with Moses. But on the other side of it, Moses isn't as experienced and as wise as those two fighters.
And that's
so there's a trade-off. But I think, personally, with due respect to the man sitting next to me, I think he's going to get knocked out by Moses.
But there's nothing to suggest that he will get knocked out because he's never been knocked down, never been knocked out.
And I'm happy to be wrong.
No, but what I'm saying
is
he's been, yeah, absolutely. But I say he had been in at the time with Anthony Joshua. Yeah, he was on a rebuild and a comeback, but that kid can whack, and he's still very, very dangerous. And Jermaine took some flush shots from him.
The big question about Anthony at that fight, and it's always been about Anthony, was he gun shy? And there was,
he was letting the shots go.
There was an allegation at that fight he was getting himself through that fight. Moses Itoje won't navigate this fight.
We'll
see.
See, that's the difference between skills and just watching it. I made him fight that way. It wasn't that he had to fight.
Fair enough.
I made it that way.
Fair enough.
It's different when you're in the ring.
Of course.
You know, so like everybody expects Moses to come out and fight this way or do this and do that. I won't let him.
No.
He's going to have to try. He's going to have to try and try again.
see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way.
Good morning. It's the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. Thank you for listening. It's Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino. Praise Jesus, hallelujah.
This song is not a good one for me.
Why?
Because my first Mrs. Me and Sarah broke up and she played this song.
What? When you
broke
up, she then put this
She could
song.
see clearly now the rain has gone. And I was obviously the rain.
You were the rain? That's savage. Well, you bounced back. A couple of times.
It always reminds me of that moment because I was living in France at the time. And
oh my gosh, that's so mean.
yeah, well, obviously breakups don't end nicely, do they? So
Why did it end? I'm only joking. Tell us everything. Tell me in the break. All right. So
I need about 10 breaks.
So she just put this on.
No, this was a song that I was playing when I collected the kids one day, and we were living in a place called Mime, which is near Aix-en-Provence, near Marseille, and this song was on, and the words, and she went, "Yeah, this song's about you," meaning like.
Imagine her name was Lorraine. I can see clearly now, Lorraine.
Lorraine is gone, yeah. No.
See you, Lorraine. On to the next. If you fancy more of these tunes, don't forget Virgin Radio. Chris Evans back Monday morning from 6:30. The legend
Should I
himself.
have said that? It's one of them songs that meant something at the time.
Well,
you know what I
that's
mean?
what music does for you.
Yeah.
Not the best memories. We just meant that there was good sunshine coming up and Cass delved into his past and all his experts and all that. Brilliant. Never change. Here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT today. After us, Max and Charlie got the warm-up from 10 o'clock through to 1, and then the GOAT arrives, Adrian Durham, for GameDay Live, taking you all around the grounds from the Premier League and beyond. 2 matches over on talkSPORT 2 from the EFL. Struggling West Brom take on league leaders Coventry City at 12:30, followed by Wrexham versus Ipswich. That's at 3 o'clock. 5:30, GameDay phone in Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara winding up the nation. As always, they'll be taking in all of the action from the weekend's games and taking your calls as well. And then 7:30, exclusive Premier League commentary tonight. Manchester City take on Newcastle. And here is your host, Ian Danter.
Game day exclusive Saturday night on talkSPORT is a belter. I'm Ian Danter. Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce will be alongside me at the Etihad Stadium, and I suspect we'll have a lot of Arsenal fans tuning in Saturday night to Game Day exclusive to see whether Manchester City can indeed get within 2 points of the Gunners at the top of the table ahead of the North London derby. But maybe Newcastle will be buoyed by those 6 goals they scored in Azerbaijan against Karabakh. City have a great record against the Toon Army at home. Maybe that's set to continue. Join us Saturday night from 7:30 to find out.
Lovely stuff, Ian Danter. We will see you then. Download the talkSPORT app and you can stay with us and stay across all of the action from the EFL on talkSPORT 2 as well today. We've got West Ham taking on Bournemouth.
Yeah.
A crucial Premier League clash that could define both sides' season. The Hammers sit in the bottom 3, desperate for points to climb out of the relegation zone. And then, of course, Bournemouth unbeaten in their last 6, flying at the moment, just 3 points behind 7th placed Brentford. Building up to this one, West Ham manager Nuno Espirito Santo says his side need nothing less than a victory in their bid to beat the drop.
No, I see him as another game that we have to focus on ourselves, do our jobs, ignore what's happening with other teams. Massive game for us, important games at home. Expect again a good atmosphere at the London Stadium, the fans helping us helping the fans so we can overcome together. Realize that is a tough opponent, team that is in a good dynamic, playing good results. Good players, good manager. We know it's going to be tough, but it's up to us. It's up to us to try and make a good performance.
So definitely picking up, and it's looking a little bit more possible now, isn't it, for West Ham, Cass?
Yeah, well, a number of weeks ago, it looked nearly impossible. They were in a dreadful situation. They've managed to pick up some wins. There's a different dynamic about this West Ham team, a lot more energy. And I think the West Ham faithful are going to the game today expecting a really good performance against a very tough opponent. If Bournemouth are on their game, Shebahn, they're a tough side to play against.
It's mad to think that if West Ham stay up, it could be the expense of Forest, where Nuno was at the start of the season. Football's weird.
Yeah.
It's very
There's always scenarios, isn't there?
Yeah, building up to this one, massive West Ham fan, presenter here, of course, on talkSPORT Towers. Jeremy Kyle is with us. Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Jeremy.
Listen, how are you, Cass? Listen, can I just apologise? Do you know why I'm sat in the car?
Yeah.
You've been put out of the house. She's ditched
Well,
you.
I've got six kids in the house and I can't hear a bloody thing, so I've got to come and sit in the car, right, with a cup of tea. Honestly, cup of tea, and I've been out here half an hour.
You've actually got a mug of tea in the car. You're a
I've got a mug of
disgrace,
tea.
Kyle.
This is the car.
Jeremy.
Yeah, more than Boris Johnson. No, yeah, 6. Yeah.
Cass has got
35,
7.
the oldest. 2, the youngest. So Johnson's got how many? 7. I think he's got more than that. I think he's probably been telling a few porkies, hasn't he?
Tony Cascarino's got 7. So wait a minute, the gap between your eldest and youngest is what, 35 years?
He's older than you.
That's amazing.
33 years. 35 and 2. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And how do you feel? Because I was a dad at 53, yeah, Jeremy. How do you feel like being a dad with, especially the 2-year-old? Because obviously it was like a change of life for me, which has been a great joy of having another kids, of a young age.
Yeah, listen, amazing, knackering, but incredible as well, actually. And I think when you're a little bit older and you've got a bit more time to enjoy it, she's amazing. But she rules the roost, Iris, at 2. Oliver's very cool at 6, really cool, really, really switched on. But Iris is, she runs the whole place, mate.
Love it, just like her mum.
It cheers you up from West Ham this season, Jeremy.
Well, you missed out some. I've done my research because Shebann's quite a scary person to deal with, right? Let's talk about Areola. He has not lost to any team lower than 12th, right? Yeah. The metrics on their performance since the menu left, 6 games ago, they've been even better. Their ability to recruit, I think, is probably even better than Brighton. It's a really important game for West Ham. They've looked quite solid in the last, 3 out of 4 they've done. I don't know. Sometimes they look unbeatable and sometimes they look dreadful. I think Somerville's essential, Bowen's essential. You'll laugh. You know the bloke the big lump we got from Chelsea, Disasi?
Yes, done well.
I mean, done really well, and in fact, not a fan of Kilman at all. Sorry, he reminds me of. Everybody had a go at Kurt Zouma and said he was a big lump that couldn't run, but actually we were a much more solid team with him. So Disasi's improved it. I don't know. There's a sort of feel-good feeling, as far as you can get a feel-good feeling on the horrible London Stadium ground, which has got about as much atmosphere as the cemetery usually.
Well, it's look. I mean, if you go back even to sort of the start of February, just before that, in January, it looked dire at that time. It really did. It looked like an impossible situation, and you could only see West Ham going down. But it was going to be by how many points? But now you've had a number of wins. There's been your performance against Manchester United was really good, wasn't it? Okay, you didn't win the game, but it was a good performance.
They look like they've got the bit between their teeth. Shebahn just said that football's weird. I don't know. You can bring a new manager and you can try and make changes and all that, but there seems to be a vibe. He's brought a couple of people, that Tatter, whose name I can't say. I don't know. They just seem to have it about them at the moment. I do think Somerville's essential. He came on the FA Cup against Mansfield and scored a corking goal. Then you look at Forest, and as you said, the irony, Shebahn, is that Nuno was there. But then they've employed the guy, Victor Pereira, who actually did an amazing job early on at Wolves and started really well against Fenerbahce, didn't he, in the Europa League? So are they going to be good as well? I still maintain, and people laugh at me, I've been saying it for 3 months, I can see a team dropping from above and Forest and West Ham surviving. And everybody laughs when I say it about Palace or I say it about Spurs, and they all say Spurs will be fine and Palace will be fine. But Glasner, I think, is going to walk, and I think Palace are in freefall, genuinely.
I think you've probably hit the nail on the head with a lot of Palace fans, because I think they're now starting to think in that way as well.
Yeah, we heard from callers earlier on who said that they actually feel that if Glasner doesn't go now, that Palace could slip into that kind of zone.
But you think about Palace and you think he won the Community Shield and the FA Cup last season, their first trophy probably as for however many years, ages, and now he's persona non grata. Football's like that, isn't it? I mean, I just believe that if West Ham can play as they've played in the last 4 games, they'll be all right. But they'll probably turn up today and get battered 3-0. They're about as consistent as treacle, aren't they, to be honest? A bit depressing being a West Ham fan.
Are you going to the game today, or are you not allowed out?
Are you joking? Of course I'm not allowed out, right? What are you talking about? We've got to go shopping, and then we've got to go somewhere there. And will I get back for the rugby? And will the youngest be asleep? And then the 6-year-old will want to play Lego. So I missed the racing. And then West Ham's on at 5:30 and it's tea time, so I'm stuffed.
Hold on, I've got my violin because Cass was looking for it earlier on. No, Jeremy, if you've got a problem with it, put something on the end of it.
Hey! Where did you get that from, Aherne? Honest to God, man. Whose name's on the wall? You need to do different things during the day, mate. You really do. Who do you? By the way, Aherne, who do you support? By the way, I've never asked you.
Celtic and Manchester United.
You can't support 2 teams.
You can, because I do.
That's ridiculous. So here's a question for you. We'll turn on its head because I don't like being interviewed. Does Michael Carrick get the job full time?
Yeah, I think so. I think he did. I think he so far has earned it. You know, I thought maybe
like
Thomas
Solskjaer wins a few, but isn't good enough in the long run.
That was different. That was different. I mean, we were at the pits, weren't we? Very recently. The only thing was Aberdeen did start to turn it around, and I think the reason it's going well on the table for Man United is kind of it was so wrong, but so right in the way it worked out for Michael Carrick in terms of coming
He's done really well. He's done really well. All I can think of at the moment, Jeremy, is saying to you, like, you could have 2 teams. You could have West Ham and Millwall.
Yeah. Well, we always know about the ICF. We always know where we were always likely to win, weren't they? I feel quite honoured to be on your show this morning, Shebahn and Cass. I feel quite can we carry on talking? Because I don't want to go indoors.
You need to get back in the house. Your tea's finished. Get out of the car and go for it.
Your missus and the kids might be listening to you, Jeremy.
You could be in trouble.
Be careful.
No, the mother-in-law's there. Bless her heart. She's only 4'3". Honestly, she used to be 6 foot. She's shrunk over the years.
Well, you're little as well, so that must be why you got on so well. You're back on.
It's all coming out this morning, isn't it?
Back on
please
Monday
come on my
Talk.
show, please. Come on my show.
Back on Monday on Talk, Jeremy. We will see you then.
Take care, guys. Have a great day. Up the hammers. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on. Jeremy Kyle there, back on Talk. Swipe across on the talkSPORT app if you want to listen to his show on Monday for all the news and everything that you need to know. Spicy this morning from him, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes me laugh when people... I sit in the car sometimes doing interviews as well, because it's quite peaceful just to say, I can do it here.
Do you know, sometimes when you put the kids in the car and close the door, that walk around to get in the front seat is so peaceful. It's like 5 seconds of pure bliss.
Screaming and shouting.
Yeah, West Ham have got Bournemouth today, 5:30. All the updates on GameDay live in the GameDay phone-in with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Coming up next, we're going to be joined in the studio by a current NFL player. How exciting is that? He's also a massive Newcastle and Celtic fan. Dan Wheelen is with us next.
They've changed the manager, which is what the fans wanted. I was at their last home game against Newcastle United, and it just felt like the players were completely on the floor, just didn't have the answers, didn't look interested or committed to the manager's plan. How will it be different under Igor Tudor, and has he had enough time to work with his players, Crook?
I'm intrigued by this appointment because obviously one of the main factors is he's proven in the past that he can come into a team in a difficult situation, give them an uplift, put wins on the board, which obviously Spurs need to steer themselves away from relegation danger. But as Southampton found with Ivan Juric last season, who had a similar profile, there's a big difference between doing that in European leagues and coming into the Premier League and doing it. I do think you're right. I think the atmosphere around the stadium will be a lot more positive on Sunday than it has been previously. I think the change of manager, the fact it's not Thomas Frank anymore as much as anything, makes this a more difficult fixture for Arsenal. But what happens if they go behind early? What happens if they lose this game? That lightning rod effect that the Spurs hierarchy are obviously hoping for suddenly evaporates quite quickly.
Yeah, it's slightly different in terms of the profile of the manager. I mean, you keep comparing Juric to Tudor, but Juric basically only managed teams in Italy, Genoa and Hellas Verona down the bottom of the table. Igor Tudor has managed Marseille, Lazio and Juventus. So it is a slightly different
How many of those were in relegation trouble when he took over? Because that's where Spurs are.
How's it going? Good morning. You're listening to talkSPORT. It's the Weekend Breakfast. My name's Shebahn Aherne. Former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino is here. Very pleased to say we've got a special guest with us in the studio right now. Turn on the smart TV. The big man is here. Green Bay Packers punter, massive Newcastle and Celtic fan Dan Wheelen is with us. Good morning.
Hi Dan. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Listen, you're flying at the moment.
Yep.
Can we just start with the important stuff? So you've got two teams, Newcastle and Celtic. I'm mugged off for having two teams, Celtic and Man United. It's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, there's so many teams in the world. I mean, it's okay to support a couple more now and then. So
say it to Dan's face. You make fun of me. Say it to Dan. He'll knock you out.
So come on, tell us about playing for the Packers in America and how you got there, Dan, from a young man.
Yeah, so born in Ireland, grew up in Ireland, played all kinds of sports. Rugby was my main sport. Kind of got hurt playing it, so I switched to more soccer. Mom got a job in Palm Springs in Southern California, so I kind of grew up there for a couple of years. Went to college in Northern California at UC Davis. Was like a kicker, punter, and then kind of switched to just being a punter in college because they said my height and my stature kind of fit the role better. And then I went to the Saints for an early stint out of college, undrafted. They cut me right before like the big camp, so that kind of hurt me a little bit. Kind of worked at like a spa, did the XFL route, which is like a league under the NFL, which is where like players go to get film and like grow to get better to get into the NFL. So that kind of worked out for me, and the Packers picked me up after that season, and yeah, I've been there for the last 3 years.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And obviously you've done well. Yeah, you've done really well, yeah?
Yeah, this year is my best year so far, so I'm kind of...
And what does that equate to in points or goals, kick goals or...
I don't know. Who's got the most goals this year?
Haaland.
How many is it?
22? 20 goals?
Yeah, he's on 20 plus.
Okay, maybe around like 20, I'd say, for punting wise. I mean, I think I led the league in like punt average and fourth in net, which are like pretty big numbers, I'd say.
Good,
Yeah.
good. So you mentioned like all of the sports that you did then when you were young. You're a football fan as well.
Yeah.
Your dad's from Newcastle.
Yep.
You were up visiting Parkhead recently as well. Tell us, could you play football as well? Like, were you decent?
Yeah, I played center half, so I was at the back I mean, tall, so I'd take the free kicks, header. I mean, kind of held it down at the back. But, yeah, it was my favorite sport. I'd always score from the halfway line, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, obviously, soccer, because that's what you're now attuned to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Soccer being in America. But that would have been the reason why you were, decent at sport in general. Because did you play GA or not in Ireland, or was it more of a rugby?
Yeah, I mean, I tried it. I wasn't good. I was like, okay, maybe I'll just leave that and play rugby, soccer, tennis. So kind of all the taller sports, I guess, for me. But, I mean, I enjoyed it, every second of it.
Being from Dublin, did your parents try and put you into Irish dancing when you were young as well?
I did Irish dancing.
No way!
I did. So kind of what I do now, punting, my leg kind of whips up. Yeah, I started young, but I didn't even know I would use it later in life. So
Your mum and dad committed totally as well with you? So they're out there with you at the moment? They live in America?
No, my dad lives in Newcastle, and my mom lives in St. Louis now. So kind of all over, yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And now this is the off-season.
Yep.
Obviously, you've got a holiday next week, but this week is all about promoting the NFL in the UK and in Ireland.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So, I mean, we're definitely trying to grow the NFL. I mean, I was in Newcastle yesterday talking with, like, some of the kids at the Newcastle Foundation. They're like, we were trying to get them to guess what sport I played. They had, like, no clue about the NFL. So, like, in that aspect, I guess, like, get more kids involved because it is a massive sport in America and across the world. So, like, the Packers are here trying to, like, spread the word of, like, Green Bay and the NFL brand. So then we're going to a couple of matches this weekend to, like, talk more about football and, like, get everybody involved. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure Tottenham Stadium is, like, the NFL hub for games across the seas for us. So it'll be nice to go there and talk more about football, too.
Dan, I wanted to ask you one thing because in American, especially American football, you get mic'd up, don't you, in the pads?
Yeah.
How do you find that? Because obviously there's a lot going on in Europe, and there's been a big week of, things are being said, one player to another, a racial allegation. Tell us about, is that for media and for content, or is it all recorded as well to keep players in line?
I don't think it's to keep us in line. I think it's to kind of get, like, almost a behind the scenes, like, on the bench, like, when we're waiting, like, before the game, who we talk to, like, our reactions during the game. I got mic'd up during the preseason game. I mean, hit, like, a couple of good punts, but I'm like, oh, swearing. So they kind of bleep it out. But, like, I mean, when you're super excited in the moment, like, you don't even
emotion.
know. Yeah, you're just, like, reacting, basically. But that's kind of what they go for, like, your honest reactions. And, like, that's kind of what the fans love to watch. So it's pretty cool.
Content as well. Like, the content goes everywhere from those being mic'd up. Listen, what's the ambition for you? What do you want from next season?
Well, I want to win a Super Bowl and get a ring, and I think that's everyone's goal in the NFL. But just to continue growing as a player and play for the Packers, and just be a better punter each year, and it's a pretty hard place to play. It's always cold, so I think just doing that for a long time would be really good for me.
What age are you now, Dan?
27.
So in terms, you've got another 5, 6, 7, 8 years of playing, maybe more.
No, I probably got another 15.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's cut your years there.
Yeah.
I know, I mean, it's hard to assess certain sports of the longevity of a player's career.
So there was a kicker, I think he retired right before I got there, Mason Crosby, who played at Green Bay for like 15, 16 years. So being a kicker and punter specialist, like, I think we have more durability because we're not getting hit every play. So I think I'm in, like, a good role for longevity in my career.
Other positions on the pitch are short careers, aren't they? Can't they? With injuries, like 3 years plus.
Yeah, I mean, NFL stands for not for long in our world, so it's good to get, like, 3 years. But, like, if you get to, like, 8, 9, 10, 10's usually a good number to get if you're playing, like, one of those big positions, because then you're kind of set up for life, really.
Yeah. Listen, Tony Cascarino, Republic of Ireland international. My twin sister plays for the Republic of Ireland women's team as well, so you must want them to get to the World Cup. I take it
we're cheering on Green Bay.
Yeah. I mean, when Troy Parrott scored,
yes.
Oh, my, dude, I was electric. I saw it after my game. I was ecstatic. I mean, it's been a while since we've been in the World Cup, so I'm praying for them.
Well, we have a 1990 World Cup group, WhatsApp group. And if you'd have saw the messages on Troy Parrott scoring and winning the game, it was just unbelievable. The whole of Ireland, and I've experienced the World Cup of 94. You obviously weren't around at that particular time, but it sort of put Ireland on the map in many ways. The World Cup.
And as are you in the NFL, the first Irishman in the NFL for about 40 years. So keep going strong. Remember your roots, Dan, and thank you for coming in.
Has any Irishman won the Super Bowl?
I don't believe so. Yeah.
Well, there's your goal.
Yes, exactly.
That would be incredible, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Dan Wheelen, thank you. Keep doing all the good work that
Thank
you're
you
doing
so
for
much
the
for
NFL.
having me.
Good
Cheers,
luck
Dan.
for next season as well. We'll be looking out for you. Listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. That was Dan Wheelen from the Green Bay Packers. Coming up next, we're going to preview this massive game tonight for Man City hosting Newcastle.
But when you hear these comments that he's come out with now, to say he cannot get the best out of the players that have come in, if that those words just come out of his mouth, then as an owner, you've got no choice now. You have to say, like, okay, he's coming out now publicly and saying he can't get the best out of top players as well, by the way. Brendan Johnson is a very good player. Okay, you can't get the best out
Is
of
he
him.
daring the board to sack him?
It sounds
100%.
Like it sounds like it. And by the way, I know that they missed out on Dwight McDeal. That deal didn't quite get over the line on deadline day. But there was a lot of optimism in the Palace hierarchy because of the addition of Brendan Johnson, because Jurgen Strand-Larsen has come in and obviously scored a couple of excellent goals. Guessond as well. And they kept Mateta. He's not fit at the moment, but should be back sometime soon. They feel there are more than enough weapons in that Palace team to be winning games of football, and one winning 15 is not good enough.
It feels like he's playing chicken a little bit with the hierarchy, isn't he? Because he's saying, I'm not good enough at the moment. I can't do this job. It's very hard for me, blah, blah, blah. And Palace are in a situation where they're obviously like, well, you've already said you're going to leave at the end of the season. You've got a contract to fulfill. You need to fulfill that. Yeah. We're not just going to pay you up for the sake of paying you up so you can have a 3-month holiday and prepare yourself for a new job. Quite rightly so, by the way. But at the same time, Palace are in a predicament where they've won one game in 15. They might go out of Europe if they don't buck their ideas up next Thursday. And they don't want to lose to Wolves on Sunday either, because if that happens, they could find themselves in a relegation battle. So they're in a sort of catch-22 situation. He knows that, and he's daring them, Gabby.
Yeah, but in that press conference, he's gonna lose the fans, those that were still standing by him. He's going to lose the ownership, and he's probably going to lose the players as well if he's turning around saying, "Look, I'm not good enough for you guys."
Thomas Tuchel's busy trying to bring glory back to England for the first time since '66. But how did he get here? Well, from the sleepy town of Krumbach via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krumbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players. The attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Good morning, welcome along to Saturday. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name is Shebahn. We've got former Celtic and Villa striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Coming up today, Leeds travel to Aston Villa, sitting 6 points outside the drop zone. But their boss Daniel Farke warns his players they aren't yet safe from relegation.
30 points would have been already enough in order to stay in this league. I don't expect that during this season. We have to win many more points, and for that we want to stay with the foot on the gas.
Not far from them, West Ham host Bournemouth tonight, looking to close the gap to Forest in the relegation battle. Hammers boss Nuno Espirito Santo says his side are fully focused ahead of what he's calling a massive game for their season.
They are ready for the battle. They are ready for the battle. This is what we work on. Get them ready, try to get as much details for them to perform. They are ready.
Follow the updates from these games on GameDay Live and GameDay Phone in here on talkSPORT. And also Man City host Newcastle 8 o'clock tonight live on talkSPORT. They know a win would move them within 2 points of league leaders Arsenal, and City boss Pep Guardiola says his side must keep winning to pile on the pressure.
The rivalry is so strong. If we lose games, it will be so difficult. It's the same feeling I have with Arsenal. Arsenal drop points in the last, but they can win in a row a lot of games.
It's a huge game tonight. It's live and exclusive for you here on talkSPORT, and kick-off is at 8. We'll build up to that one for you very, very soon. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. He's nice, that guy, Dan Wheelen. That.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's lost his Irish accent, hasn't he?
Yeah, considering he left it at 13.
13, yeah. I mean, not that matters. He seemed really happy and confident of how his career's panned out. Fair play to him.
He should be. Cass was asking him about at the off season when he goes back into training. Is there like a weight limit of what you're not allowed to put on? And he says it's £10 allowance they're allowed, and if you go over that, it's a big fine.
Yeah, well, they do not only their weights and their checks, but their bone density. They go really detailed on, seeing where players are over the course of because they'd obviously have a weight. They'll give him an ideal weight, what he should be during the course of the next season.
Imagine now talkSPORT give us fines for coming in overweight because we're now on the TV. You'd be skint. Joking. You'd be on the jabs.
I've actually tried hard this year.
No, you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Are you
hard.
still doing your sit-ups and your?
No, I'm not doing them as I was doing them, but I'm doing a bit, but not nowhere near. I had this idea that I had to get through January, and then I need a month off afterwards.
Need your rest. Put it all back on again. Looking ahead to tonight, massive game at the Etihad. Manchester City host Newcastle, looking to pile the pressure on Arsenal after their shock wobble against Wolves on Wednesday. Can City keep the title race hot, or will Newcastle cause another twist?
Arsenal have dropped 2 points in the title race and maybe hand some momentum to Manchester City.
I could not care less. It's 12 games.
3 goals for City, 3 points incoming for City, and they're closing the gap.
It's an eternity. So many things is going to happen.
Man City are not the Man City of old. They've got their own frailties. Let's see if they go capitalise on it.
Tonali with another drive. Oh, what a goal! Sandro Tonali!
Positives to come out the last few games, as you say, 3 away wins, which is something that's a great return.
What a win for Newcastle United. A 6-1 victory on the road. But Eddie Howe doesn't do history, he rewrites it. Can he scribe a new chapter tonight?
But they've been too good for us on a number of occasions, and that's the jumping gap we've got to try and bridge this weekend.
By the way, we're just watching Eddie Howe on the news there. He's had his Barnet chopped.
Yeah, he's looking well, Eddie. He's gone for a real sharp haircut.
Wonder if it'll bring him any luck tonight ahead of the game. I got the chance to speak to Newcastle centre-back and England international Dan Burn. Here's how he feels the team are preparing ahead of their big clash at the Etihad tonight.
Yeah, good. Obviously, we were late back yesterday morning. So we had yesterday off and then preparing for the game today. So yeah, looking forward to it. I know that we've not got a great record against City, but as I've been saying, that's got to end at some point, and confident that that can be tomorrow.
Were you keen to break those records that City have against Newcastle at the Etihad?
Yeah, quite a few times, yeah. So, but as I said, sort of stats are there to be broken at some point on. It was 70 years since we won a cup at Newcastle, and we managed to do that. So we always go to City with nothing to fear, but also knowing that to get a result there, you've got to do pretty much everything right.
To be fair, he's absolutely smashed Karabag, so it must be a good place to be right now.
Yeah, it is good. I think we sort of made a big thing of it. They had some really good results at home against Chelsea and other top teams, so we really went in not to underestimate them, but also probably knew that they play a certain way, and if we did what we do well, we could cause them problems, so we did that, especially first half. But it's very cliche, but obviously there's another game to go, so we're not celebrating on going through yet. We've got to still put in a good performance next week.
Do you guys discuss the title race in the dressing room? Perhaps maybe you'll help Arsenal fans out?
No, yeah, I think obviously like as a neutral watching it, it does make it exciting. I said there's going to be no bias on me trying to either help out City or Arsenal. We're just looking after ourselves. But I think as a neutral looking in, that's what you sort of want as a fan of the Premier League. You want a tight sort of title race going into the last few months. So it's exciting.
Do you feel the club are on target this season, considering you won a trophy last season? Is there a little bit more pressure this season?
Yeah, I still think we're in reach of our target. We said we wanted to get back-to-back Champions League seasons, so it would be the first time that the team's done it in the history of Newcastle, so that was our target, and we still believe we can get there. Don't get us wrong, we're going to have to go on a pretty good run. Now, we're fighting on sort of 4 fronts to a few weeks ago, so we're really going to have to focus and pick up results, but it's still possible, so until it's not possible, that is the target.
Do you feel there's maybe pressure on the team to win another trophy this season?
I don't feel like there's a pressure to do it, not that there was as much pressure last season to win the first trophy. I feel now that we've done it, we feel like we've got the ability to go again, and those, I think the manager said it before, I think as a team and a squad, as a club, we're probably not at the stage where we can be competing to win the Premier League, so we're best chance of winning silverwares, the League Cup and the FA Cup, so we make a big thing about trying to perform well in those, and then obviously trying to make Champions League football again.
How has it been a senior player? Do people turn to you for advice in the dressing room? Are you the fatherly figure?
Good, it's a great team to be around. I don't know if Trips has said it previously, but we always say I think this is the best squad that I've worked with. I feel like we're a very close team. We spend a lot of time with each other, but we also demand from each other and want to push each other on. I don't think that's been evident any more so in the last couple of weeks, probably since that Brentford game where we spoke with each other and sort of get our focus back and really play for each other. And the manager, we really sort of felt as if we'd let him down after that game and sort of wanted to change that round, and I feel like we've done that in the last sort of 10 days.
We see you recently joined social media. How's that been, and what was your decision to get on Instagram?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I think I came off social media a long time ago. I just probably wasn't great for me mental health at the time, and I was probably a little bit more sensitive when I was younger and took things a lot more personally, whereas now I probably don't really care as much. And I think it's also nice for people having insight into sort of me as a person and sort of is my life. So yeah, I'm not sort of running that every single day. Obviously provide content for it, but it seemed to have had a pretty good effect with people by the sounds of it.
Dan Burn there. Spoke to him yesterday, building up to that massive game tonight at the Etihad. We're going to hear more from him in a little bit in the show. Cass, how do you think this one's going to go tonight?
Really tough one for Newcastle, purely because Man City played the FA Cup tie against Salford. They also had Fulham at home, 2 comfortable performances. Made a load of changes last weekend. Had no game in midweek. Newcastle have played in midweek. Strange this. You don't see this very often. But they've played Newcastle, obviously, in the Premier League. They've played them in the League Cup, and they've got them in the FA Cup. They win all competitions against Man City. It's a big ask. I think it'll be a tough game for them tonight. Look, Newcastle have travelled, and yes, they've won comfortably, and you can say, but all that travelling and just having to play, a pretty decent, strong side, I think it's a hard ask for them to go and get a result at Man City. It's going to be hard as it's ever been. Man
City have won the last 15 games against them at the Etihad, but as Dan Burns said, records are there to be broken.
Man City lost at Newcastle in the early part of the season.
Yeah.
So, hey, look, I think it's a tough ask. Like I said, I think this will be a comfortable 3 points for City today.
Okay, you're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Don't forget it's live for you here tonight, 8 o'clock kickoff coming up. We'll hear more from Dan Burn and the importance of mental health.
Mourinho, one of the best managers of our generation, but I'll tell you what, he's lost a lot of fans. He's lost a lot of neutral fans, and I just felt his comments were disgusting. For one, Vinicius Jr., if he wants to run to the corner flag and do a dance that a lot of Brazilian players do, Cunha danced when he scored against Arsenal, didn't receive racial abuse from anybody, any player. So Vinicius Jr. is allowed to dance, and also Eusebio is one of our best ever players. This club cannot be racist. What does that mean? Because your best ever player was black, that means no one else can be racist to do with your football club. And also, no one says Benfica was a racist football club, did they? It was alleged that a player had been racist. So why is Mourinho protecting the football club when no one's said that Benfica are a racist football club? Very odd.
Well, Benfica are not a homogenous group, are they? They're made up of individuals, and Prestiani is his own individual, and he's the one who's accused of the racism. It's not like everyone's accusing the club of it. It just seems a little bit strange that now Benfica have come out in support of him, almost suggesting that there is sort of a defamation campaign against him. And the problem here is that we'll never be able to prove the contrary, because all you've got is eyewitness statements of people who say that they've heard it. But if he sits there and says, "Oh, I didn't say that," or "I didn't mean that," then there is very difficult to prove. Like lots of different cases across the world, if you're in a court of law, you have to prove it in order to punish.
morning. Thank you for listening to talkSPORT. Hope you're having a good Saturday so far. It's the weekend breakfast with me, Shebahn and Tony Cascarino. You're at Brentford today?
Yes, Brentford versus Brighton. Looking forward to it.
Go somewhere and get a wee brunch.
Chill out and watch a game. I'm there probably to watch more so Brighton. I've been to a few Brentford games in the last few months, and I want to see Brighton because they have fallen away and it's been a really difficult period for them. So just seeing how they face up to Brentford. This is a tough game for them today.
Yeah, absolutely. All the updates coming for you on Game Day Live. You've also got Villa Leeds, Chelsea Burnley, Brentford Brighton are the 3 o'clock kickoffs, 5:30. West Ham take on Bournemouth. And then live on talkSPORT tonight, Manchester City host Newcastle. More on that in just a moment. But time now for this.
And they're off.
Win a trip to Cheltenham, Alan Brazil style on talkSPORT.
Right, so we heard from Dave Stevens from Coral earlier on, who went on his holiday before Cheltenham just to rest himself before a week with Alan Brazil. You could be there at the famous Cheltenham Festival for Gold Cup Day, mingling with the likes of Brazil and Ray Parlour. We've got the ultimate hospitality experience for two on Friday the 13th of March. Full VIP treatment for the day, a 4-course lunch, a complimentary bar, celebrity tipsters and much, much more. This is the best way to take in the race, and here's how you can get involved. Text the word WIN to 83338. Text are £2.50 plus your one standard network rate, or you can call this number 0343 418 7260. That's 0343 418 7260. Lines closed on the 27th of February. If your phone rings that day, it could be us telling you you've got the chance to win, so make sure you answer. It's 18 plus, UK residents only. A talkSPORT promotion with all the terms and conditions at talksport.com. Trip to Cheltenham on Friday the 13th of March. We will all be there. Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour will be there. You could be there with us. Good luck to you. Are you going to Cheltenham this year?
I don't know. You never know if I talkSPORT what they're doing or whether they invite you. I'm not sure yet, but it's always great fun.
I'm working there on the Thursday, Friday, but on the Thursday, Jamie's coming along with 4 of our friends, a couples outing.
Yeah.
To Cheltenham. We're going to do it properly. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's a great festival. It really is. I mean, the last time I went, I think was the sort of just after when we come out of the pandemic was the last time, because the pandemic was one of the last events there, wasn't it, or one of the last sporting events, and then Liverpool I think played a game against in the Champions League. I think it was Atletico Madrid, but yeah, I didn't go that year, but I went after we came out.
It's funny. I wonder if Alan will turn up on the Friday this year. I think
he's been a good boy this year. He's been as good as he's been. He's been very professional.
You know, I've said this before, but his wife picks him up at 4 o'clock every day on Cheltenham. That's the new routine to make sure that he doesn't drop the ball for the next day.
I think he's in a good place at the moment, Alan, and keeping himself healthy, or healthier than he has been.
He's on Virgin Radio Legends tonight, by the way. If you can't wait till next week to get your fix of Alan Brazil, tonight 6 o'clock, Virgin Radio Legends for Alan Brazil's tunes and all of his stories from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We can hear now more from Newcastle defender Dan Burn ahead of tonight's game against Man City. It's live here on talkSPORT. Here he is on how he manages his mental health.
Yeah, I think I'm just a lot more confident in who I am as a footballer and who I am as a person. Obviously, I'm married now, a dad of 2, so I think that probably puts a new perspective on life. You realise that football's not the be-all and end-all, and as a footballer, I've also sort of learned what my strengths are and not sort of worried more about what other people are doing and just sort of control what you can control. And ever since I've sort of had that mentality, and I've sort of reaped the rewards for it. So yeah, I'm definitely a different person to who I was when I was younger.
And do you have that then fatherly guidance in the dressing room?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like as a leader, and I'm quite like a lead by example person, so I always try to make sure that I do the right thing, no matter what I'm doing around the training ground, and try and sort of lead by example with the younger lads. And even if the right thing's the hard thing to do, sometimes I always make sure I do it. I never take the easy way out, and hopefully that has an effect on those players just coming through. So yeah, that's what I try to do.
Who's the naughtiest child in the dressing room, Dan?
There isn't many naughty ones, to be fair. I think I'm noticing just there's a bigger gap in interest between what I'm liking to do now, and some of the younger lads, especially like Louis Hall and Tino and Willis Sula, Joe Willock, but I feel like they're sort of keeping us young. I know I'm only 33, but in the football world that is quite old, so they're keeping us young.
So they're into gaming and you're like into golf then?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. I'm just happy sitting there with a cup of tea and having a bit of crack around the table, but they're all like, TikTok and Instagram and all that, which, as I said, I'm on Instagram, but I'm not on it constantly. So, but it's nice. I said, there's not many workplaces that you probably have that age gap in, where you're still that close to people. So it's a nice environment to be in.
Speaking of being on the phone then, who's the worst for scrolling in the dressing room?
Who's the worst on the phone? I'm going to say, I always say Joe Willock, so I feel bad going for Joe Willock, but he's just always the person that comes to my head for some reason. I'll go Tino. He's injured at the minute, so he's spending a lot of time on his phone. So, sorry that I've done that to you, Tino, but Tino.
You're an NFL fan as well. Did you enjoy the season?
It was good. I thought it was probably the one season where there wasn't a sort of outright team that was going to win it from the start, and it seemed like at one point nobody really wanted to win it. So, enjoyed the Super Bowl. I had sort of 10 of my mates over, and one of them was a Seahawks fan, one of them was Patriots, so it was good to watch that. It's always nice to see the Patriots get beat as well, so I was happy. Don't
suppose you've heard of talkSPORT's Will Gavin?
Yes, aye. Yes. No, I bet you I know his face.
Will's actually with us now.
Oh, Will, let us see you.
We'll feed that back.
What's the plan between now and the end of the season? What's your ambitions?
Yeah, so hopefully we'd love to get a FA Cup final. I know we've got City at home, which isn't a tough draw, but we feel like we can get there. And I think for us to get Champions League football, I think that's something we've really got to push for. And I know tough going to the Etihad tomorrow night, but hopefully that's the start of a run that we can put together to get there.
Well, good luck to you, Dan. Before we let you go, we like to play a lot of tunes on the weekend breakfast on talkSPORT. Any suggestions? Would you like a song played?
Yeah, I'll go very Geordie. I'll go Sam Fender, People Watching.
Dan Byrne there with us here on talkSPORT, building up to the game tonight. Don't worry, Dan, we'll get you some Sam Fenderson, promise you that. Don't forget, it's live here on talkSPORT. Newcastle take on Manchester City. Seems like a good guy. Coming up next, we'll continue to build up to that, and of course the big North London derby tomorrow with a Spurs legend joining us on the weekend breakfast.
There were reports that the night that Sean Dyche was sacked after that Wolves game, 4 or 5 senior players were called into Marinakis' boardroom and they essentially said, we're not loving this. And I don't like that. That feels unfair to someone like Sean Dyche. However, last night I think was great evidence because the players played with the reins off. They played with freedom. And I think it shows that how maybe unhappy some of those players were under Sean Dyche. The fact that they went to Istanbul, to a team unbeaten domestically under Dominic Tedesco, and absolutely played them off the park.
Yeah, on paper, Max, you look at your team. I mean, Hudson-Odoi on the wide, on his day he can do it. Hutchinson, you've got Gibbs-White, as you mentioned there. You've got Elliot Anderson in midfield as well. So you've got some top players.
I think he's the key, Elliot Anderson, because he's the dynamo, he's the driving force. And if he can win and keep them playing and get the balls to the danger men, then Forest have every chance.
Without a doubt. Look, and we all know that Elliot Anderson's destined for the top 4 team He's got the talent to be absolutely world class. The way that he moves, there are shades of Zidane about him. And I know that people will laugh at that, but he is something special. And I think if England are going to do something special this summer, he's going to be a massive part of that for Thomas Tuchel. But people have been saying this about Forest all season, boys. They've been saying, well, they'll be absolutely fine. Look at the players, and they'll list the exact same players you just have, understandably. But ultimately, the chaos off the pitch is what's caused this.
Good morning. It's the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Villa and Millwall striker Tony Cascarino. Bit of Sam Fender in the background there for Big Dan Burn.
Yeah.
Newcastle. He's got on the old Instagram. You need to go on it now as well.
I'll tell you what he would say about Dan Burn. I mean, I think they paid about 12, 13 million for him, Newcastle. That's a bargain for how he's played since they signed him from Brighton. He started his career in Darlington. So he's gone right through. He's played for Wigan and many different clubs over his career, but he's gone back to his homeland, or where he was brought up and bred, and been absolutely done brilliant for Newcastle.
Yeah, fair play to him. Don't forget, live on talkSPORT tonight, Manchester City hosting Newcastle. Newcastle looking to break that record of 15 games, having not got a win at the Etihad over Man City. We'll see what happens. Your headlines this morning: Celtic interim chairman Brian Wilson has vowed to seek an end to this debilitating and unnecessary atmosphere of conflict after the fan protest during Thursday's Europa League game left the Scottish champions fearing disciplinary action. In other news, Keely Hodgkinson broke that long-standing women's indoor 800-metre world record set by Jolanda Keplak way back in 2002. And ahead of their clash against Newcastle, Pep Guardiola says his side are taking things one game at a time.
I could not care less. It's 12 games. If you tell me this question, 2 games left, 3 games left, I will have your answer. It's the 4th time you ask me the same question, I will answer you. You should know me. So it's 12 games left. It's an eternity. So many things is going to happen. That is the only truth I have.
I bet you are thinking about it though, Pep. Come on.
Look, he's been there and done it so many times in different leagues, so he knows how to compose himself and his team, and that's the danger of City, because they're second on the table and they haven't hit the heights that we know they're capable of. That's the frightening thing of City. You know, we're not looking at a team that has been, I think, in the last 2 or 3 seasons, Shebahn, City have, been such a good side to watch, and just when they throw it at you, you know you're in trouble. And Semenya coming in, and obviously Mark Gay as well, that's boosted them. It'd be really interesting what sort of City will be in the running.
Do you think they can win every game between now and the end of the season?
No, I don't. I don't see that yet. What I do see is a team that's had quite an easy time, as in results. I mean, the big result was at Anfield. You know, turning that game round, the way they won it, dramatic, chaotic, and then they back up with a comfortable win against Fulham, and then obviously Salford, they could leave nearly all the team out that they'll probably use today. So it's been simple preparation for them.
Yep. Have you been joining the Winter Games?
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of it. I've been watching quite a lot of the curling, if anything. I've found that interesting. Always found the curling interesting to watch. It seems so precise.
Yeah.
You know, and there's also been a little bit of controversy, hasn't there, around that touching the
rock a couple of times,
Yeah.
touching the stone, yeah.
just over after it goes over the line. But yeah, I've enjoyed it.
I reckon I could give that a go.
Yeah, well, I don't know about sliding down. Do you do ice skating? I mean, they're shoes, aren't they? They're wearing shoes that are just basically they slide on.
I was watching Ramesh Ranganathan and Rob Beckett in League of Their Own last night. Well, you know, the one that they do. And they were doing curling. It was funny.
Yeah.
They were tragic. Okay, coming up for you today, the Winter Games. We've got a lot to look forward to in the men's bobsleigh. Pleased to say, join us now is former British bobsleigh pilot and TNT sports pundit, Lamin Dean. Good morning, Lamin. How are you?
Hi, Lamin.
Morning, guys. Good to see you. Good to hear you. Good to hear you covering the Arsenal and Man City showdown.
Right, so Arsenal fan, Lamin?
No, Man United.
Oh, good man. Good man. So
we have a huge interest.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you must be delighted in the recent sort of 4 or 5 games. I mean, you know, they've really shown a lot more of what you were used to years gone by.
Oh, for sure. And I hope it's the start of something special. You know, we just got to pick the right manager. And for your information, I'd like them to remain with Michael Carrick.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are feeling that way. It's hard to look past what he's been able to achieve. And just the way you look at the players, everybody seems they've had this lift from Michael Carrick.
Yeah, they have. And, you know, there's such a togetherness and, you know, the football they're playing is great. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been great. Tell us about bobsleigh, because that was your sport, and you were the pilot of the bobsleigh team.
Yes, I was. Well, I actually started out as a brakeman, one of the guys at Push, for a season or two. Well, actually for 4 years, and then decided to make that jump into the pilot seat.
Do you ever do like a little announcement? This is your captain speaking.
well,
we'll be
yeah.
Cruising at an altitude.
A few, right, guys? This is going to be a bumpy one, but let's go.
I mean, it's a random sport for us, obviously. For you, maybe not so much to get into. How did you get into the bobsleigh?
Well, I joined the military at a young age, and I joined the Grenadier Guards. Actually, I thought I'd give them a shout out, and they supported me through. I started out with athletics. And from then, I was recruited into the Army bobsleigh team, which has a rich history. Well, all 3 services do. And from then, you know, I made the jump up to the international team, and, you know, it really all started from there.
So looking at this Winter Olympics, are you hopeful of a serious medal, as in gold, for the UK or Great Britain?
Guys, this is perfect timing because the 4-man race is actually on right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yes, it started at 9 o'clock. However, we're in bronze medal position at the moment after the first heat. We're only a tenth of a second from silver, and yeah, it's quite possible we could come away with a medal. The guys pushed fantastically well, and Brad Hall had a almost faultless drive down the track. It was fantastic, and I'm really excited.
What's the key to like executing a decent bobsleigh race and being the winners of it? How do you need to get it all so right on that final day?
Well, there's 3 elements to it. In any bobsleigh race, you need to have a really good start to get yourself off the mark, have that velocity into the first corner. You need to drive well, knowing every corner, every inch of every corner. And your equipment needs to be up to scratch, just like Formula One. The best car, the best driver will win, and that's pretty much the same. We call it a Formula One on ice.
Huh?
Right. Tell us, Lamine, about the Winter Olympics in general, because we don't often see the sports like bobsleigh and very often, and it is the flagship for winter sport. So coming into the end of it, how do you appreciate the Winter Games?
Yeah, well, it's as an athlete, it's the sort of pinnacle of your career. A lot of people don't know or don't see the qualification. To qualify for Olympic Games is extremely hard. It's extremely tough, and mentally it's draining. So when these athletes get to the Olympic Games, they get to the Olympic Village, may I add, getting the kit as well is a huge part of it. They're just wow. It's the highlight of their career. And meeting the other athletes from sports that you wouldn't necessarily come across or see, it's just such an experience.
How would you assess Team GB over this course of period?
Well, I think they're doing extremely well. We already have 3 gold medals. I think we're going to have another medal. Well, I know we're going to have another medal from the men in the curling, possibly another medal in bobsleigh, fingers crossed. So, wow, 3 gold medals as it is fantastic for us. But maybe a possibility of 5 gold medals, which will be a record medal haul for us.
Yeah, I was going to say that's decent. That's very, very good going, and it's really kind of swept over here. A lot of people talking about it. It's trending all over social media as well. But Lamine, my brain can't stop thinking, where do you actually train if you're like a bobsleigh athlete? Like, where do you practice? It's quite a hard thing to practice.
It is, and for us as GB, all we can do is we can get ourselves in the best physical shape possible. We have a push track at the University of Bath, which is a great facility there, so we can practice our push starts. However, our closest track to us in Winterberg is a 10 to 12 hour drive, so we're already on the back foot, and that's the same for skeleton and most of the winter sports, to be honest. However, we do what we do best in GB. We roll the punches and get on with it.
Have you met this dog that's stolen the show yet? This wolf dog, Nazgul, who was doing the downhill skiing. I mean, everyone's obsessed with this dog.
Yeah, I unfortunately I haven't, but I've seen the clips, and something like that always happens at every Olympic Games, and maybe it will be recruited into one of the teams. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you see like a cat on the pitch at a stadium, or a squirrel recently at Hull. Seeing the dog doing the downhill skiing was just so cute and wholesome. Listen, Lamine, thank you so much for your time today. Good luck. Hope it goes well for the bobsleigh athletes. We'll keep you posted on talkSPORT, but thank you to you.
Cheers, Lamine.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, guys. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Keep going, Man United. Up the Michael Carrick.
Come on.
Former bobsleigh pilot, TNT Sports pundit, that's Lamine Dean with us this morning. Remember, you can watch every moment of the Olympic Winter Games from Milano Cortina 2026 live on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus. Cue me. Coming up for you next, a very special Spurs guest will be with us here on the Weekend Breakfast to preview the North London derby tomorrow.
I'll tell you why I'm not worried. Because if Arteta doesn't win anything this season, major, then it has to go. All right?
No, I disagree with that.
No, well, you would, wouldn't you? But we don't sack managers every other week.
But you can't sack a manager who gets to the latter stages of every competition. You can't. You can't.
You can when the pattern emerges.
You can sack them.
The
Would you
pattern
sack him?
emerges. Chelsea did it.
It depends what they do.
They won things.
John,
Okay, here's a question. Would you sack Arteta if they finish second in
well, what happens in the
Premier
Champions League?
They lose in the final.
What happens in the Carabao Cup?
Lose in the final.
FA Cup?
Lose in the final.
Mate, he's got to go. You can't.
You're gonna sack him.
You can't get to
four finals.
You can't get to 3 finals and finish second. You can't. That to me tells that is all the evidence. No, you well done. It's a little bit like what Claudio Ranieri done at Chelsea. Chelsea, he finished second that season. We beat Arsenal in the semi-final, quarter-final of the Champions League. Got beat by Monaco. Jose comes in. We've gone from second to the quarter-finals to almost winning. We won the title, won the Carabao Cup. Arteta might just be that man. He might be the nearly man. He might be the man, but he might be the nearly man. If he's the nearly man,
well, you'd sack him. You've got to be careful what you wish for, Jake. You built this team for him.
I'm not saying
built this team. And if they don't win it this season, or they finish second and they miss the cup finals, whatever. I don't think you can sack Arteta. I don't. Mate.
I think you can.
From where they've come from.
No, but that's the point I'm making. He has taken them to this point. Now their time is now. Their time is now. And if it's not now, I don't know when it ever is going to be, because City will be stronger next season.
Good morning to you. Thank you for listening to talkSPORT. It's the weekend breakfast. My name's Shebahn Aherne. Former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino is here. Your headlines this morning: Team GB will win gold or silver versus Canada today in the men's curling final at Milano Cortina. Michael Wheedock will keep us updated on the Winter Games. And remember to stay with us here on talkSPORT, because live tonight you've got Manchester City against Newcastle. Of course, there'll be a lot of Arsenal fans rooting for Newcastle today to do a job over Manchester City, which has been tough for them to do, because at the Etihad in the last 15, it's been Man City to come away with the points there. Looking forward to this one today. Cass, we've been building up to it all morning, and then of course the North London derby tomorrow. You looking forward to that? I can't wait for that.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Because of the circumstances that have happened in the last sort of couple of weeks as well. New club manager at Tottenham. See what he can do. It's going to be a big ask for him. He's got to find a way, and with a lot of injuries at the football club, because if you look at every piece of data available, it all points to an Arsenal. 29 points difference between Arsenal in first and Tottenham.
It's weird to think of Tottenham in this situation, but they are. They're on a bit of a flirt just now with relegation, and Arsenal looking to win the title. So it's a juicy one for sure. It's time now for this.
Ozzy's going to Wembley, his knees have gone all trembly. Come on, you Spurs, come on, you Spurs. Ozzy's going to Wembley, his knees have gone all trembly. Come on, you Spurs, come on, you Spurs.
You know, we dig deep for the guests on this show. You are going to be joined now by a Tottenham legend. Started at Arsenal as a wee lad, went through the Tottenham Academy, made 34 appearances for the Spurs, scored 7 goals, scored his first senior goal in the UEFA Cup match, and always here to wind you up on talkSPORT. Welcome along, Jamie O'Hara, to the Weekend Sports Breakfast. Hello, good morning, Jamie.
Morning, Shebahn. Morning, Cass. I do have to address Wikipedia. I wish talkSPORT would stop getting their stats from Wikipedia. I played 78 games for Tottenham, and I don't know why, but it's got 34 on there because it's Premier League only, right? But they forget the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League quarter-final against PSV. It's doing my head in.
At least you're not bothered by it, Jamie. Jeez.
Oh, it winds me up. It does, because people go, you only play 30 games for Tottenham.
By the way, I always back. Yes.
How are we?
Yeah, we're good, Jamie. Look, the result that Arsenal had in midweek, the 2-2 draw, has sort of lifted the spirits of Tottenham fans and fans generally who just don't want Arsenal to win the league. Mostly of them are Tottenham, by the way. So tell us how you see this, because I just look at everything, all the bit of data available, and it's like, I can't see how Spurs win.
Well, you say that, Cass, but, you know, if you look at the way Wolves have performed over the last few weeks, you know, lost against Man United, drew against Brentford, and drew against Wolves. Now, you can't tell me Wolves are a better team than Spurs. I know we're in a bad spot at the minute, but, you know, I think Arsenal are there for the taking. And that result, Cass, for me, look, going into it, if they'd beat Brentford and they'd beat Wolves, I'd say no chance. We've got no chance to win this game. But the atmosphere now for me has changed. Spurs have got a new manager. We're looking at a new bounce. He's come in, all guns blazing. You know, the players are going to be on side. The fans are all going to be there. It's a sellout crowd. You know, there's going to be a decent atmosphere. And I think they're going to smell a bit of blood. I do. Arsenal are a way better team, Cass. They're a better team than us. We know that. But you just never know on the day. Like, and I just think if there's a time to play Arsenal in this season, you know, there's good times and bad times to play teams, in my opinion, right, throughout the season. I think this is the best time that you can pick to play Arsenal right now.
See, that was muted, Jamie, when Arsenal lost to Manchester United at the Emirates, and then the week later they go to Leeds and win 4-0.
Yeah.
That's saddened. What I'd say is that I actually think it's a great time for Arsenal to go to.
But Leeds are rubbish.
Spurs are actually way more rubbish in terms of the table, Jamie, to be honest. So
no, but the table, I get that, Shebahn. But look, if you look at the players that we've got, we're not a bad side. We are not a bad side. You know, Leeds can throw in an absolute stinker. They were terrible that night. Like, they were absolutely terrible. Spurs have got that in them, don't get me wrong, of course. But I just think this game, North London derby, I think the atmosphere is going to be different. The first goal, the first 20 minutes are huge. It will set the tone, and we'll know then we'll know what Spurs are turning up. Because I don't know what Spurs are turning up.
I feel like I know what the answer is going to be here, but do you think Arsenal are wobbling? And if they lose tomorrow to you guys, is that it for them in the title race?
Yeah, they've bottled it. They've bottled it. They have. No, they have. They've bottled it. They have. This title race wasn't even a title race. Man City are not even that great. Like, Man City are second, you know, and it's in their hands, really, because Arsenal have thrown it away. They've gifted it to them. They should have been 11, 12 points clear. You know, this team has been built to win the league. And if they don't win it this season, I think Arteta's going to come under huge pressure. If they lose this North London derby, pack your bags, that's it. It's all over for them. They cannot lose this game. They have to win.
Jamie, I hate when you sit on the fence.
That's what I do, Shebahn. That's what I do.
Yeah, well, come on, tell us what you've made of the impression that Igor Tudor has made since he joined the club.
Yeah, look, he seems all right. He seems pretty honest, pretty open. You know, he's obviously got a track record for, you know, getting results quickly. So let's see. You know, he seems like saying all the right ideas. I see a picture of them all out having dinner together, a bit of team bonding. So, stuff like that, I think is decent. I would do that if I was in at the management and, get everyone on side. I think you have to do it. So, yeah, look, let's see. 20 minutes when that game kicks off tomorrow, we will see what Tottenham side we've got.
Yeah, it might be the Last Supper, Jamie.
It might be.
Yeah,
I can't see us going down, though. Cass, can you see us going down? Seriously?
No, I don't see that. What I do see is a side that I feel you concede way too many goals, Jamie, in some soft scenarios. And look, you're not even a goal machine team. What have you got? 30-odd goals this year, 36, something like that. So, you're not a goal machine team either. So I just feel that this is a game that I could see Arsenal going there and actually being quite comfortable.
Jamie, listen, you're back on it.
Yeah, I do. We'll see, Jamie. I'll be listening to you on Monday. When you're on next?
He's back on tonight. He's on tonight.
I'm on tonight.
No, I want to talk after the game. I will speak Monday night when you're on with Jason. And
you can phone me up Monday night, Cass, and let me tell you, they are not going to be comfortable. They are not going to be comfortable.
No, you might. Okay, maybe it was
what
the wrong word.
What do you think this is?
They'll beat you. They will beat you with ease. I'll give you.
They might beat us, but they ain't going to be comfortable.
Well, if someone like Romero decides to kick somebody or whatever,
he can't play.
He can't play, can he? Well, that makes it even more difficult for you.
Right, Jamie, get back to your paddle. Listen, we love you for joining us this morning.
I'm holding my phone up.
Take care, Jamie O'Hara. 78 appearances for Spurs, and don't you forget it, Jamie O'Hara back on tonight in the game day phone-in with Jason Cundy. Don't forget to build up to the North London derby. Check out the talkSPORT Daily podcast. Talks about Tottenham and Arsenal and asks if this is the biggest North London derby in years. Here's a clip.
How are you actually feeling right now about Arsenal's title challenge?
I feel like we're bottling it. Since the Wolves game, there's going to be a lot of noise, and there has been a lot of noise, and there's been a lot of people using that term. It's a term that I feel at times has been wheeled out unfairly when discussing Arsenal this season. Now, I think it's one of those where you haven't really got a leg to stand on to defend yourselves. And what you have to do, as Mikel put it in his post-Wolves press conference, is you have to take it on the chin, and you have to move forward, and you have to be focused on how you go about putting that right. But if you want to call us bottlers now, I'm not saying that I completely agree with it, but I can see where it's coming from, and I think there's merit to that argument, and it's very hard for me to push back on it.
Oh, I know Harry Symeou so well, and he'll be screaming having to record that podcast, talkSPORT Daily podcast, available now in the talkSPORT app. Right, if you joined us earlier on, you will have heard Tony Cascarino trying to do this viral beat of Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Can he hit the note? Harry Kane couldn't. A number of footballers cannot hit the note, but we're going to try it now live on air. DJ Baby Gabs, hit it.
Happiness, but above all this,
Don't call it.
I'm having a wobble.
You bottled it! You're rubbish! You've been listening to The Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Thank you, Whitney Houston. You're joined by greatness next. The warm-up is coming with Max Rushton, who's flown in from Australia this morning with Charlie Baker. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. We're back tomorrow from 6. Love you, bye.
Just unbelievable how things have changed so dramatically just from like a 190-minute game where Arsenal really...
but it's not 190-minute game, though.
No, it's not.
It's been a few weeks now.
No, you're right. But if Arsenal win that 2-0, compared to drawing it 2-2. The narrative is so different. The point, it's so... We're talking about now, you said it last night, Championship rounds, we are there. We're approaching that time now. Mm-hmm. And here's the funny thing, right, is that it's Man City, right? It's